Are we? Are we live?
We
Are
are.
we live? Are we live? I think we are. Hi, welcome to Your Aunties Could Never. And it's not, is it? It's news and nonsense. For a second. Welcome to News and Nonsense. I'm Auntie AK, aka the auntie of all aunties, and I'm here with.
I'm Farrah, resident Caribbean queen.
And Auntie Nana will be back. She's got technical issues, and she will be back very soon. Why is nobody seeing us, but yet everybody's in the chat? That's weird. It's saying 0 eyes. I wonder what's happening there. Can you see we're live? Just double check.
Let me see.
Oh, there we go. Everyone's back. I can see it now. The number count has gone up. So this is News and Nonsense. This is where we help you separate all the nonsense of the world and from the actual news that you need to know. We separate the wheat from the chaff, the diamond from the rough, the sap from the crap, what you need to know from what you don't. We're here to save you. Welcome, 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 everybody. Let's do some roll calling. Hi, Destiny Love. Hi, Cher. Hi, Simmer. Cher. I said Cher. Sora. Who else is there? Bardi Gang. Woo, woo, woo. C. And a funny little symbol. Who's that? I don't know what that means. Who else is there? Yvonne. Hi. Hi, Ronald. And Grown Women Only. Are you all the way in Atlanta? Wowzers. Hi. And who else is there? Cara, Pat, Waving Cat Designs, Sistrin, hi. And that's it. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, share it, tell your friends to get on this live, get into the chat, get into the nonsense. Hi, Abis. And what else? Membership. That's all we need. More memberships. Memberships. Okay, so we'll get it. Nana will be back in a minute. Let's get into our first story. Actually, no. What were you saying, Farah? What's happening?
I was just saying that Britain and the USA have bombed Yemen near the airport. News just in.
What's their reasons?
Who knows? Do they need one?
They don't need one. Real.
It's interesting that they've bombed Yemen, considering that they were giving all the big talk about Iran the other day, and now, but they've bombed Yemen.
But Yemen wasn't bombing the other day.
No, I know. It was, well, they weren't, but this is what's interesting, that they've attacked Yemen, but not Iran. So Iran they're the ones that they were up in war, they were up in arms about the fact that Iran dared to attack Israel, even though it was just a military basis. But yeah, it's Yemen they've gone for. Not Iran, Yemen.
That's wild. We'll keep an eye on that. I didn't even know. When did it happen? Someone's asking.
I just saw it in UK politics.
Wow.
So fresh. So
they're trying to get us into war right now. So that's it.
Of course they are. 3 hours ago, they posted this. British and US forces have bombed Yemen. The UK government, alongside of US, have targeted the Houdia airport, Sana'a, and Dama city.
The thing is, what happened to that public announcement? You know, when they kind of and tell their citizens what's going on.
That's what people are saying. It's interesting.
Like when does this happen? That we just go to
when were we asked? Well, you know, why Yemen?
Yeah.
Because Yemen are the ones that control that part of the Red Sea, isn't it?
Okay, guys, we'll keep posted of further updates. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable.
Me neither.
Because right now everyone's testing out their nuclear weapons, and so I don't know what's going to be the trigger. This is wild. Okay, well, the actual story was Netflix series leads to the notorious Menendez brothers case to be reopened. So I don't know if you guys have watched the Netflix series. It's called Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. And it's about basically the brothers, Eric and Lyle Menendez, who were sentenced to life for murdering their parents in 1989. The case is being reviewed after 35 years of them being away. They were originally convicted of killing their mum and dad, Jose and Kitty Menendez, to inherit their fortune. And that was there's a big media storm around this case. However, now new evidence, including a letter from Eric alleging sexual abuse by their father, has led LA County District Attorney George Gascon to announce a review, possibly leading to a retrial or a resentencing. So now everyone's talking about this, obviously, got the series. And on top of that, Kim Kardashian has weighed in and she said, she wants the case to be re-examined. And she says, look, they're gentle. They're not horrible lads. She's met them. And she's thinking that, they're not the evil killers that everyone's deeming them out to be. However, in true Netflix fashion and the normality of what happens around Netflix things, there's been a bit of drama because the series have been accused of being sensationalist, and it's leaned into the drama of it all rather than the actual serious exploring of abuse and what that leads to and the trauma that leads to. So yeah, what do you guys think? Is this news or nonsense? And do you think it's right that the case should be reopened based on a series?
How long have they been in now? 30 years?
35.
Yeah, 30 odd years.
They went in at 22 and 25, and they're now 53 and 56.
Okay. I think this latest one is properly weird, like how it's all been done. Like it's the stylizedness of it is, it's a bit unsettling. But I don't trust Kim Kardashian with anything. Or her views on justice and what should and shouldn't be done. So I'm not really taking her seriously on that. I think there was a lot of mitigating circumstances that they probably were abused. So they should have another trial.
What makes you say that?
That they were probably abused.
Yeah.
In the first documentary that I saw, there was other people that attested to their dad being very strange and domineering over them. And that maybe he did have ties to some type of a pedophile ring as well. So there was more, but nothing was properly corroborated. And obviously it's like their trials were a mess as well. So I do 35 years, even if they did. I believe in our sentencing, actually. So I think 35 years inside for killing anybody is probably enough. So even if they did kill their parents, I don't think life should really mean life at all.
In general, or just for this type of crime?
No,
see, I believe that there are some people that deserve to rot in hell and to stay there forever. But I equally believe in rehabilitation. I think it's a case-by-case scenario. With these guys, I haven't really watched many documentaries. Obviously, I remember the case as it was happening, but it's I can't weigh in on whether or not I feel like they were abused or not. I think that the style of the latest Netflix saga is just that it's a saga. It's dramatized too much for me. I've been watching it, but it's hard to take it seriously because given that it is a real story, that you can see that it's fictionalized in many ways. So it's hard to take it seriously. I wouldn't want to take what I see on that as gospel. The only thing that disturbs me about what they're saying is that they are saying that their father abused them and that their mother stood back and did nothing. That's what I find unsettling. Your father abused you, but you shot both of them and brutally, like your mother had an inconceivable amount of bullets.
Yeah.
So I think that that's the part that I struggle with. Not to say that people who abuse don't have trauma and all of those things, but I think I struggle with the mother of it all.
I don't, because I remember the furor around it. I remember all the noise, but it was 1989. So what was I, 12 or something, I think, around that age or something like that. So I kind of remember it, but I wasn't old enough to be immersed in it. I have like an opinion on it like that. So I've forgotten the story, and I was lining up the series to watch just to see what it was all about. But then when I was reading it, it's from, what's the name, Ryan Murphy, it says that also it alludes to them having an incestuous relationship between themselves, and they've denied it. So it's like all this conversation about Netflix and these dramas and documentaries. It's like, yes, there's a shining a light on a story, but when does it become okay to kind of sensationalize and dramatize something? And just when the people, even more so, they're alive, and there's room for this now, has caused a ripple effect where now it's going to be reinvestigated and reopened. It's a bit of a mad one. I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel. I mean, if they deserve to, what's going to happen? They're not going. I don't think they're going to get released though. So what does it mean? A resentencing, maybe what an extra? I don't know, because how many years left of their sentence had they got to serve? Was it actually a life sentence, or was it life as in but not enough?
No, I feel like they were life without parole. I think, thinking of the credits at the end that came out, I didn't think that they had parole to even be looking forward to, even if they were 80. Like if there's somebody in the chat can remember exactly what rolls up at the end of it, but I thought that their life was like they ain't coming out again, because you know it's 2 people brutally murdered.
I thought it was the same, Nana, as you. I did think it was like life with no parole.
Yeah, Abby says life without parole. Yeah. So I think trying to consider reopening it, maybe there's some type of other evidence that now, you know, they can look into. I don't know. It's worth a punt though, isn't it? If you were them and now this series is out and you've got celebrities being, let's look into this, you're going to go along with it. Even if you did kill your parents in cold blood, like you're going to try. So I get it. I would be trying if I was them.
But do you know, it's a bit weird, Kim saying, I've met them, they're really gentle, nice lads, but they've been in jail for 35 years. What? I mean, obviously there's those who've lost their mind or those who are just inherently violent, but they would be nice by now, I suppose. Like, do you know what I mean? How can you judge that character based on what? When did you meet them to say that? Do you know? But at the same time, I'm not going to argue too much in that space, because yes, she went and she helped the girl that shot her abuser, the young black girl. So just saying that, so she would have then said a similar thing, like she's a nice girl, she's not a killer.
And also like she's met them. What's she expecting them to do? Like to take out a shotgun and shoot her? Then it's not going to be the same thing. They are not going to be the same people that they were when they went to jail, and also they're not going to be violent in their approach to anybody because they want to be freed. And it's not like they were violent, even if they did kill their mum and their dad. It's not like they were violent to anybody else. You know, so what is she expecting? That doesn't prove anything.
No, it doesn't.
If you're talking about they deserve to, like Nana is, they deserve to come out because they spent a significant amount of time in jail and they've repented, then that's different. But to say, oh, they're really sweet and gentle, like, what does she expect them to be?
Waving Cat Design says, when you say you struggle with the mother, what do you mean exactly? I think that's too far.
Just because they didn't say that the mum was also abusive. It was like the dad was abusive and we don't know what he was doing to the mum. So that's why I struggle with the fact that they killed her too.
Okay. Yeah. Her silence may have been her own abuse that she was going through as well. I get it. I think they did always maintain that they didn't think that their mum could live without their dad though. Like that so even on Netflix, it's either Netflix or Prime, there is another docu kind of film that was done. This is maybe 15 years old. And it's not so stylized and sensational. I think you kind of get more of a sense of who they are watching that one.
There's something coming out soon.
Yes, I heard that.
There's another documentary coming out soon on Netflix, like an actual proper documentary. It's coming out, I think, in the next couple of weeks or so. Off the back of this.
Also, why so many? What is this? Like, is it just, I know sometimes in the creative zeitgeist, things could just, someone might have an idea and then it sparks a ripple effect. So then you have all these same people talking about the same thing coincidentally. But why do we need all these stories about these boys right now?
Well, you do know, like, it's exactly what you said though. If someone dramatizes something and the next thing you do have a real documentary in relation to it, it happens all the time.
No, it's just the timing, because I think people work in their silos. I don't know. It's just odd that now there's a bunch of things about these guys in particular. And it's like a ripple effect or something, but they would have been working on it in different times and it wouldn't have been like one after the other. I don't know. It's weird. It's just strange. And in the comments, I think everyone's generally like, why is Kim Kardashian getting involved in this? What she does though, she does do advocacy for people. That is what she. So, you know. Well, anyway, we'll see what happens when they do get a trial. That's what's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be a media.
I reckon they will come out though. But it might be like the craze. You know, like the craze came out when they were practically dead.
I mean, these guys are like 56 and 55 or whatever. They've got a good couple of decades ahead of them if they do come out. And if they've still got their fortune, they're rich as well.
Have they still got their fortune?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know if they're coming out to destitution or not. Alrighty. This is Erin Jason. This is the result of letting just anyone apply for the bar. I mean, if you pass, you can't knock at someone who's passed it. Huh?
She hasn't passed.
She didn't do the bar. She didn't do the.
She hasn't passed. She's got like a mini thing that she did. But did she do like a mini thing?
Like an honorary version of it all.
She did, yeah, she did some mini thing. I remember. She passed the mini bar or some shit like that. I'm gonna Google.
Has she passed the bar? No. So Kim Kardashian not passed the California General Bar, but successfully passed the baby bar in 21.
There you are. Yeah.
She also known as the first year law. It means also known as the first year law students examination on her 4th attempt.
Yes.
On her 4th attempt.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Okay.
Yeah. So on her 4th attempt, she passed the mini bar.
I'm still thinking, innit?
What? Juddering?
Like,
yeah. The baby bar. She passed the 10. Oh,
yeah. So on Monday. On Monday, there is an actual. Sorry, on Monday there's a documentary called The Menendez Brothers, and it's a documentary rather than it. And it's new, so it's just been done, and the boys, the guys, the old men, they're speaking in it. It says they're telling their story together.
Right.
So
yeah,
that should be a little bit better than the Netflix dramatization. So this coming Monday, it's on Netflix.
Okay. All right. Do you want to do the next story? Or should I go on?
Sorry, I'm not looking. Who are you saying?
I just said you, Jaguar Wright. Sorry, I didn't.
Okay. All right. So Jaguar Wright has been on Piers Morgan, and I'm sure everybody has seen this. But what I really wanted us to discuss, she focuses mainly on Jay-Z more so than she does on Diddy. Although saying that Diddy was a sex trafficker, she came out and said that plainly, but also says that Jay-Z also has done very similar, and she has a few people, I think there was 3 of them, that have tapes that could be involving Jay-Z and Beyonce in them as well. She did this, it's on like, I think it's 4 million views so far collectively with the clips and everything on YouTube. So this is going out to the world now. It's not just her little YouTube rants or Instagram rants. How do you guys feel about Piers Morgan actually showing off, putting hip hop on the front street like this? Like there's a massive problem with hip hop, and allowing Jaguar Wright to really like kind of wax lyrical about some big people who haven't been found guilty of anything yet. How does this sit with you? What's the optics like for you guys? Because I'm feeling that this isn't. It's leaving a bitter taste in my mouth. I'm not happy with this.
Definitely.
I don't like this getting out like this.
Should I press play or should we comment after? Before?
Press play.
Go, press play.
For me, because for 4 years I've been screaming not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters, and the victim making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere. Forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately: Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
There's been obviously a lot of
cruelty-free artistry.
I mean, there's more to it. We can play a little bit more afterward. But just to answer you, yeah, I feel sick about it too. It's just, but then at the same time, I'm like, Piers is going to jump on a story. And I don't know if it's him that's wrong because he's doing what he does. It's the fact that the culture is ripe for picking right now. So I'm angry at the culture community that the leaders of the pillars of our community that have left so much rot for him to sift through and deliver back to the wider world. So I can't really fault him for being Piers Morgan. He is who he is. We now have a bunch of hip hop icons who allegedly have brought everything into disrepute. I can't blame him for being Piers. Piers is going Piers.
Yeah. Piers is gonna Piers, and he is a sensationalist, and he likes to bring the culture down at any point in time. And he's just being given the excuse, and he's also deflecting from other shit. You know, Piers is someone who likes to piss on anybody else's culture, and you know, to uplift his own. So he's gonna take all the people that come on and want to say shit like this. This is his game. This is his textbook style. It makes me feel sick. I don't like the fact that it's on his platform. I'm also, you know, I don't like the fact that all shit gets hidden, and I think what is done in the dark should come to light. I definitely believe that. But it makes me ill that it's him that's doing it. Because I know he doesn't actually care about any of these fucking people. That's the part. He's not doing it. He wants to free all the victims, and he wants their stories to get out there, and he wants people to be penalized for what they've done. He's just doing it because it's ratings and he's making money off of it, and he likes putting people down. So yeah, that's what makes me sick about it all.
Yeah, it's annoying because, you know, it's not too many people that would really have Jaguar Wright on their platforms, like because she has been ranting and raving for ages, definitely. It's not like she isn't wrong with a lot of what she's saying, but she also does have mental health issues as well. And so, like, the way she kind of plays up to it, it's like, how credible is she? And that's the annoying thing. Like, again, if I was a victim, I'd be like, you can't turn my traumas into some type of like entertainment show. Like, it's actually not, it's not okay. Like, it feels like you're making a mockery of what is taking place. And if he is as heinous as we are to believe, can justice just do its thing and we don't have this woman kind of ranting and raving about various people who we don't even know are criminals yet? Like, I'm not even a Jay Z or Beyonce supporter in any way, shape or form, but I was like, this is in really poor taste to be like have these types of clips going around without there being any type of criminal charges against him.
Yeah, agreed. And I think you said something really important there as well, Nana. It's, you know, she's got mental health. Oh, sorry, I think 1 second.
I think I was going to say she's got mental health issues, and Erin J saying white people have been waiting for this day since rap started to reach their suburbs. I mean, anything to jump on. But then again, they've been wanting to, but also, should we give them the material to do so? Do we have to prove them right? Like, this one, I can't blame, we can blame the white folks who run the music industry for allowing certain types of music to be at the forefront, and then the 1%ers who are probably doing allegedly controlling all the things, and the reason why Diddy is out there doing madness. All of those things, but at the same time, there's a bit of accountability to the monsters that we built up and upheld. So it's all sorts of stuff. We shouldn't have given them the material in the first place. And it is like, it's similar to Piers having Fiona Harvey, the woman who was depicted in Baby Reindeer. She didn't have all the eggs in her basket. She came and had a big old chat. So this is why it's like, I can't blame Piers, because he'll have a person that's not correct in the brain allegedly on his show. He doesn't care about who's saying it. It's just what's going to get him the views.
That is Piers, definitely. It's just it's annoying because it feels it's just Piers, isn't it? It's disingenuous. You know why he's doing it. There's racial connotations to it, and it does feel it feels gleeful as he's talking to her. It just feels, who else are you gonna add? Who else is disgusting? Like, it was just really like,
I'm surprised he didn't say, tell me about Meghan and Harry.
Absolutely. You know, that he probably did, and they cut it because they're like, Piers, come on now. Like, this doesn't make any sense. But it's just, it's annoying that she went on there, because I would have thought, you know, and even Jaguar wouldn't go on Piers.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like really self-serving from everybody in there. But and then also having Vlad after her as well. It's sickening. The whole segment just made me feel sick.
Now that's the part. Cool. I don't like us calling each other ghetto. I don't like black people looking down on each other, and I don't like us judging each other and how we should behave in front of white folks. But I'm not averse to having a little bit of that feeling like there's too much of our dirty laundry out in the streets right now, and I don't like it. And it's like, it's just for even our greater good. It's not that I want white people to think that we're amazing, because no matter what, if you're racist, you're going to racist. No matter what you do as a black person, if you're racist, there's nothing you could do to improve that perspective of a racist person. But for us and our sanity, and just for our integrity, morality, and self-respect of each other and love of each other, this is where it's like, guys, too much is going on. Our whole bum is out a door, and our drawers are filthy right now. And I don't like it.
I mean, maybe our bum does need to be out a door in some places.
There's also that.
I'm not opposed to that, but I just think that it was manipulative for him to have her on there. All the things that you guys said, it's just he didn't have her on there for any reasons other than his own self-satisfaction. That's it.
Okay. Gina's saying she needed to reach the white audience. That's why she went on that show. In what way? To get the story even more out there, or for her own status? Because that's the thing. Because what is her intention in doing this as well? Maybe
she feels that, you know, let's look at Diddy, for example. Within the communities, it's been said that people have known what he got up to. But when it's out there on CNN, it's got a different connotation, isn't it? Different people are looking at it. So maybe that's what she wanted to do. Maybe she wanted to highlight it to the non-community folk so that they can all be in uproar about it. And that's what she was trying to do.
Yeah. It's just high-level gossip, which I don't need.
Ray J is raging at the moment on Instagram because he says he offered Jaguar Wright some money to say her story on one of his platforms, and Jaguar wasn't getting back to him. And so in the comments, people are like, Ray J, but these are your peers though. Like Diddy was one of your brethren, so obviously she isn't going to trust going into one of your studios. But he was really vexed. Like, how can you go to the white man about it? You know, you're like, Ray J, I swear you too. Like, you need to shut up. You never know. You may have charges soon. Like, why?
Ray J, you're responsible for Kim Kardashian, so please be quiet.
Ray J needs to not talk so much. But again, we say that, isn't it?
It would be that he stopped talking.
Yes. Exactly. I don't know. What interview of Loki on Piers? When was that?
Oh, I loved it. Loki's amazing. Loki battered him.
When? I didn't see that.
He did. And then what was stupid?
Wait. What?
Loki is on Piers Morgan. Like, I think this may be his second or third time like clashing him, basically going over everything that's going on with Palestine. There's a brilliant clip as well. You know, let me see if I can find it. It'll be better me finding it than talking.
Yeah, I think I know which one you mean, but he battered him.
Yeah, go on. What was he saying?
No, if Nana can find a clip, then it's worth us watching rather than us just saying what it is. But
let's see what people are saying in the comments.
Again.
Okay. Gina says, to bring Jay-Z out when white people are looking, that's when he will respond. That's where his money is. Okay, I got you. Brandy's brother needs to shush.
Yeah. Agreed,
and deal with his addictions, allegedly. You know, you've got some stuff going on.
A lot. Let me see. Let's see
what else everyone's saying. What's this big old crass? Yes, I think the credibility is in what is right in front of our eyes. I recently watched the Oscars 2020. No stones need to be left unturned. Is Piers the right person? Hell no. We can't be mad about if they are ruining the community. Exactly. We can't be mad about it if they are ruining the community and the culture.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Too
okay,
many
if you put in low-key and Piers, and it should come up. My thing is like running so slow, I can't even get the video is there, but I can't get it.
Okay.
It's like 3 days ago. On
3 days ago.
Yeah.
1 second. Oh, sorry, too much noise. Let's go. Let's pause. Pause. I'm going to share my screen back here. There you go. Share screen. Gink. There we go.
Ages. You said it was an act of terror. Was what Hamas did.
Let's see if I can get to the point. Oh, here we go.
And the third thing that I said, which was also now been proven to have been the case, is that the Israeli military unfortunately implemented the Hannibal Directive on October 7th. And that, just so viewers are aware, is when Israel, of course, it was initially developed in Lebanon while trying to suppress the Lebanese population and stop them from battling the Israeli occupation. And it's whereby Israel takes measures to kill.
Let's see if we can jump.
Pray for the Hamas.
No, I'm stating objective facts as a journalist that has researched this topic.
But what about the 1,200 people who they murdered and the 7,000 they wounded?
No. Hundreds of those people were killed when Israel implemented the Hannibal Directive.
That's simply not true.
It simply is true. And I encourage you, in the spirit of journalistic inquiry and curiosity, to really look that up.
It's already been thoroughly investigated.
It absolutely has not.
But it has, Loki.
It's been investigated by Al Jazeera. It's been investigated by trustable news sources that have found this to be the case.
No, it's not true that hundreds of people in those named casualty numbers on the Israeli side
were killed by Israel. No, it's a fact. It's a documented fact. It's a documented fact. And you know what else? If you were to study those cars which were put forth as evidence that Hamas had killed those people fleeing the Nova Festival, the order came directly from the Israeli Air Force. This is a mass Hannibal. This is a dead zone. No.
He's coming back on him, isn't it?
I've just sent you a couple of clips that Loki's put on his Instagram page, which
where on WhatsApp?
Yeah, put it in the group. If you go onto those, because one of the second one is Piers saying some nonsense to do with P. Diddy to Loki, and it's like,
oh, is it?
Yeah,
it's the best. I mean, each time Loki goes on there, though, he is brilliant.
He is amazing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let me press play now.
Yeah, watch this one.
Condemn Rupert Murdoch.
I'm not talking about Rupert Murdoch.
Do you condemn Rupert Murdoch?
I'm not talking about Rupert Murdoch.
This has never been shown on British media. This is a letter from Netanyahu's political office. And Bridget may well recognize the handwriting of Benjamin Netanyahu.
Okay.
Here. It is a list of individuals that Netanyahu considered to be funders of his political campaign. There is a name on this list. The name is Rupert Murdoch. Your employer.
You know what, Loki?
It seems he funded Benjamin Netanyahu. That's an issue.
You know what, Loki? It's not an issue for me.
It's an issue,
Nobody
and actually it's in the interest of objectivity
understand one thing.
that you stated.
Rupert Murdoch can speak for himself. You've got a problem with him, take it up with him.
I do.
I can tell you categorically, he has never had a single conversation with me about anything I put on Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Sam Kiley resigned from the Times newspaper because of Murdoch's investments and bias
if you have a
Israel.
Problem,
this document, this letter,
you're a rapper,
clearly
right?
shows Benjamin Netanyahu noting Rupert Murdoch, considering him to be a funder of his political campaign.
You're a rapper, yeah?
That's an issue.
You're a rapper. You condemn P. Diddy.
Yes.
Great. You see how easy it is? You take it out of your obsession, which is that you hate Israel so much you can't condemn anything that people do to them.
We see the situation differently.
Not really.
My loyalty is to the people.
I agree with you a lot. I agree with you a lot more than you realise.
I view myself as loyal to the people of the camps, to the people under the bombs. I do not view myself as loyal to somebody that would end up on a list of potential funders of Benjamin Netanyahu.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. Imagine you have nothing to say that you say, you're a rapper. Do you condemn me? Imagine that's what you come back with, Piers. You know you lost.
But this is this is the thing about punditry, because like there's a moment where this is all good and you need someone who can back and definitely go toe to toe with the host. And then you become part of there's a moment when it's like, I wonder if low-key will be like, I can't do this anymore. Because I've had that for a little bit of the diversity conversations when we rolled out to do like talking head stuff. Oh, everybody's going away now. But yeah, it's interesting when you become a talking head when you're on these shows, because there's a moment when you're going for it and you're going back and forth and you're challenging them and everyone's bigging you up, like saying, yes, you're taking them down. But then when nothing changes, that's when it gets difficult. That's what gets difficult. Kara's saying, watch Piers on old GMB segments on COVID. You'll see how different he is when he's on the right side. Literally, change the voice to wherever, to suit the wind, wherever you're being paid, all of that type of stuff. It was very funny. Yes, we talked about it on the main show, the Ta-Nehisi Coates clip on CBS, I think it was, in the morning. Yeah, honestly, it's too much. It's actually too much. Let me go through the comments while these girls come back. Radar needs to keep quiet.
Sorry. Oh, look, we both came back at the same time.
Left me hanging. God damn it. But yeah, anyway.
Gemini came back at the same time. Sorry, I had an emergency.
No problem. I was saying that it's sometimes like it's really well and good that Loki's challenging him, but there's always that moment, and I wonder if it will happen to him when you realize that you're just talking to someone and you're just now being used as part of the machine to just peddle that person's intentions, and it gets really frustrating. It just gets really frustrating. But yes, anyway,
it does, and I get you. But at least with Loki, what I enjoy is whenever he goes on these platforms, he absolutely batters them with facts as well. He comes spitting facts. Look at that piece of paper, the evidence that he had. He's like, this has never been seen on British television. Look at the list. It's in his handwriting. I love that.
Yeah, it's good. It's excellent. Cara, you're welcome. Well, you can't raid my bookshelf because I'm very tight with my books.
It's great,
but
right?
I can recommend you all the things. I can recommend you. But yeah, anyway, let's see. Nana's laptop's playing up. So we go to the next story. So I guess news and nonsense. It's Jaguar Wright on Piers Morgan. News or nonsense, Farrah? What say you?
It's a bit of nonsense, but it's also news.
I always call that nonsense. It's nuance.
Nuance.
It's nuance. Yeah, I mean, we just got to watch and pray for Jaguar. Just make sure she's if she's telling the truth, protect her at all costs.
Yeah.
And if she's not, then get her the help that she needs. I think that's where I have to land.
I mean, I think get her the help that she needs anyway.
Yeah. Cara's like, it's new nonsense, and Ronald says it's nonsense. Absolutely. Yes. All right. So the Life of Bodge says it's nonsense too. So it is nonsense. So I don't know.
Oh, hey, Life of Bodge.
Exactly. Hi, Life of Bodge. Next story is: have you seen that 2 Metropolitan Police officers, Jonathan Clapham and Sam Franks, who were dismissed over allegations of lying about smelling cannabis during a 2020 stop and search involving British athlete Bianca Williams and her partner Ricardo Dos Santos, who are both black? They got their jobs back. Did you hear that?
I heard that today.
I don't know if
because her partner made a statement saying that he's very disappointed that they've managed to get their jobs back.
The tribunal says they overturned this decision, calling it irrational and inconsistent due to a lack of evidence that the officers had lied. Notably, another officer at the scene also reported smelling cannabis, but faced no accusations. The officers will receive full back pay. So it's like, boy.
And the reason why it's fucked up, is because it wasn't illegal. They didn't find anything, and it was based on racism to say that they can smell cannabis. These are 2 professional athletes. They weren't burning no weed, and they had their baby in the car, from what I remember. I think. Yeah. And it's just like, it was wrong what happened to them. At least if you're going to give them back their jobs, why are they getting backdated pay? You did something wrong. You've been penalized for it. Why is your pay backdated?
But they're saying that they can't actually. The reason why it's all going left is because they can't prove that they actually lied, and they said that there's another officer who said that they also smell cannabis. Yeah. So that's why they're throwing it out. So in theory, allegedly, they didn't do, and they didn't lie. That's what the law's saying, that they didn't lie. Or if there's not enough proof to show that they did lie.
Everyone's asking for backstory on this.
I can't, did I not say it? Sorry. So basically, oh, that's my fault. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec. And I forgot to get a picture of the guys too. So basically, the backstory is the athletes had been driving back from training in July 2020 with their 3-year-old son Zuri in the backseat of their Mercedes. I don't know why this is relevant information, but it is. When they were followed by the police, who claimed the car could be linked to gang activity. So
that's why the Mercedes is relevant.
Yeah,
because they saw 2 black people in a car, in a Mercedes, a nice car, and they thought these people must be bunning weed, and so on.
And I'm reading this from the Guardian newspaper. But however, the Police Appeals Tribunal overturned that decision, describing it as irrational and inconsistent after last year's disciplinary tribunal found that Clapham and Franks had been untruthful, and there was no objective basis for believing that the 2 athletes had cannabis in the car or on their person, and that their conduct amounted to gross misconduct. However, on Friday, this appeal has been overturned. The appeal said that the officers were dedicated, hardworking, and much respected officers whose reputations had been ruined by the original findings. Both officers did not lie. Both officers will now be reinstated. Dos Santos, the athletes, have said they will be challenging the disappointing outcome in civil courts. Our drive home from training in 2020 with our baby should never have turned into a violent incident where we were wrongly accused of smelling of drugs. We are professional athletes. We pride ourselves on not doing drugs. The actions and allegations of the officers were completely unacceptable. The IOPC, Independent Office for Police Conduct, which brought the cases against the officers, said it noted the outcome and would await the written decision. And that's it. Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys think? Is this
the likelihood of anything being changed in any way is slim to none. And I understand them even trying to take it like civilly, trying to actually get some justice, but realistically going up against the police, I feel like the only people that win are the solicitors in this, and you're just going to be wasting money. Like, it's just one of those. I wouldn't bother if I was them, really. I'd be like, nah, I wouldn't.
I mean, I get why they're bothering, because they are professional athletes, and to be at the caliber, at the status that they have to be, drug free. They had their child in the car. It's not doing great things for their reputation. So I get why they want to push it forward. They've been wrongly accused of doing something. So the only thing I will say is, in this country, like probably in America, the police, whenever they are charged, the majority of times, this is the outcome. Even if they do get suspended, even if anything happens, they always appeal and they end up back in their jobs with full pay. It happens all the time.
I mean, unless they want to be the trailblazers, but I would just be thinking there's been so many people that have sunk so much money into trying to do anything against the police force here. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, it's just going to be. I mean, they've done that. It's the back pay.
That's the insult for injury.
Yeah.
You're basically going back to work. You still got your job. You're going back, and you are going to come into a bit of a windfall. And that's what they always do. They always do those things. It's like, even if you go through hard times, like there's that footage. I think it's in America, and the police are talking to another police guy, and they're like, we're going to look after you. You're going to be all right. We're going to look after you. It's that, okay, at this moment in time, the public are raging about this. Okay, so we're going to punish you a bit, but give it a little while. No one's going to really care anymore. You're going to come back, and you're probably going to come back to like 15K.
Yeah,
this is wild. This is wild.
More than 15K.
Sorry.
Exactly.
And Waving Cat Design said she said she disagrees with not challenging it. They should challenge it, because that's what they want, for people to back off. Who was paying for the police's appeal? It's true. They do weigh you down and make you feel like it's like something that you can't overcome. And that's why people, especially in the UK, we don't have like a suing culture. We don't have that type of,
because you can sink so much of your money, and I get it principally being like, I'm not going to be bullied, But I do think that they have a way of us using our resources and our lifespan, fighting them to no end. And so for a young family, what have they got now? Like an 8-year-old child, they may want more. To sink your money into fighting the police in this country, I would think you'd probably be better off doing something else with your money, really. But if you want to go down the heroes, you know, who am I to say not to? I'm just saying, I just think Black folks, we should think about what we're actually fighting for. Especially here, what are we fighting for, really?
Session says 2 Southwark Council employees recently won an employment tribunal case against the Council of Racism. 6 years they persevered and got the result. So I can understand them challenging it. I think this is a conversation for them to have with their lawyers. And sometimes you just say in the moment, I'm going to be appealing it. And then they will come to the decision that you're saying now and be like, you know what, it's not worth it. Or they might have fire in their belly and be like, you know what, we'll go for it. And as Waving Cat Design says, if they pop a GoFundMe to support them, it depends on how much you want to push through. And I think it's definitely something you consult with your lawyers about. Is it worth it? Because it's also this third officer. Why wasn't their statement taken into account during the proceedings?
Because it's lies. This is what they do.
That's
They
what
do
I'm
all
saying.
the time.
And the weed thing as well. That is such a thing that they do. Like, I smell weed. I smell weed on this vehicle.
You and to do whatever the fuck they want to do next.
Yeah. Destiny Love, sorry to hear this. I remember getting arrested by the police for road rage, and one of the officers punched me in the face, but reported me for punching him. It went to court, and guess who never showed up with evidence? That's wild, and sorry you went through that. That's horrible.
Sorry that happened to you. That's horrible. Yeah, so sorry that happened to you. This is what I mean, though. They're just fuckeries. They do this shit all the time, and they just get away with it.
Yeah, they are. They are emotionally and financially draining, and that's what they play. That's what they. This is like this when we were talking about Grenfell and all those type of things. They wear you down till you're like, I can't do it anymore. And then you're dealing with the trauma and something like this. You might be like, we get stopped all the time, get accused. We know racism, but you don't know. Sometimes it could be one little incident that sets you back. The trauma of it all as well. You just can't.
I think because they had their kid in the car as well. That's probably another reason why they were just like, no, this is a complete and utter violation. Yeah. Because, you know, who knows what that's done to their child. And this is the other thing as well. Like when young kids see people that look like them being harassed by the police, it automatically sets up their guard. Like, you know, and then that has a bigger thing for the rest of their life. And it's a vicious circle. They know what they're doing. Yeah. You're driving a Mercedes. You must be illegal. We're going to stop you. Okay, we're stopping you because we can smell weed. When did you smell the weed? Yeah. Well, okay, let's roll it back. Why did you stop me? And what did they say? Because a car like that had been seen to be doing criminal activity. What car like mine? So what about all these other millions of cars that are passing? Are you going to stop all of those cars or just the ones that have got black people in it? Look at what they did to him. A car like his has been seen.
It's so like, you might as well just said a BMW, like, for crying out loud. Like a Mercedes. Like black man's wheels.
Now it's Mercedes though. It's Mercedes. That's like, you know, like before it was the BMW. But it's like Mercedes are the cars now where that's what they generally go after. Cara saying, listen, we all need dash cams for our own safety.
Yeah.
I think that's the truth.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Literally, you need to walk around with a camera. Do you know what I mean? Like it gets to that
like
point.
A GoPro in your head.
Honestly. But yeah, so this is news. We'll see. We'll come back to it and see if they do take it further. But you know, I definitely get you, Nand, in regards to like this is you just be tired. Just be tired. Just leave it alone. Yeah. But you know, also injustice. The police get away with it all the time. But yes. Okay, next story. The UK is finally giving up its last African colony, but with conditions, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Conditions.
Come on, hit me. What are the conditions? Tell me.
So, by the way, the UK is agreed to transfer the Chagos Islands back to Mauritius, ending a long-standing colonial dispute. The Chagosians, who were forcibly displaced in the 1960s and 1970s, will have the right to return, except to Diego Garcia, which will remain under UK control for its joint UK-US military base because of its joint UK-US military base. The handover follows international pressure, including a 2019 UN advisory opinion calling for the island's return to Mauritius. Some Chagosians welcome the move, but others express frustration over being excluded from the negotiations and the lack of reparations. Human Rights Watch has criticized the deal, arguing that it continues to deny full rights to the Chagosians, particularly due to their exclusion from Diego Garcia. The agreement, still to be formalized in a treaty, has drawn political opposition in the UK. The US President Joe Biden has endorsed it. The situation is further complicated by the presence of Tamil refugees stranded on Diego Garcia for 3 years, awaiting a rule on their status. And historically, the UK separated the islands in the 1960s to establish a military base on Diego Garcia, displacing the Chagosians, who were primarily relocated to Mauritius, the Seychelles, and the UK, where they faced difficult living conditions. Of course, they did. How do you feel about this, guys?
Colonizers are going to colonize. Colonizers.
It's the
they tell us that these things were in the past. Why have you got a chip on your shoulder? Let's look at the present. Why are you talking about stuff that doesn't exist anymore? Or you're better off now for colonization. That's the other one. Fucking assholes.
This is the most disgusting in recent history of actually like removing a whole set of people from their homelands that they've been at for hundreds, if not thousands of years. These people have lived on these islands. You remove them forcibly, killing loads as you were doing it, and then displace them into foreign lands that they've never lived before with nothing. And now you want to be like, yeah, but, you know, in our compensation, not that you gave them any monetary compensation anyway, but you've offered them citizenship. Like they can either be citizens of Mauritius or Britain. They want to go back to their homelands. Exactly. And you're telling them you still can't go back to that place because we got a lease on it for 99 years. And Mauritius is also complicit in this and being like, yeah, no, those islands aren't yours. Do we even know how they're going to be treated in Mauritius? Like they're a sovereign being. Like they don't need to be in any other land. They had their island, they had their land, and you didn't even consult them, like as if they didn't have their own leaders, their kings, their queens, their practices. Like they just have to go wherever a government tells them to go. Like these aren't people with their own minds, traditions, and hopes and wants and dreams. Like it's so disgusting. I was watching one guy talk about it, and I think it was on Channel 4 News, and she was like, so don't you think that they should have been consulted? And he was like, well, I mean, at this point in time, it's two governments talking. Like, what could they say? What do you mean, what could they say? This was their homeland. Like, the mind.
It's so bizarre. And these are the same people that talk about immigration and not wanting anybody to come to their lands, and no one should dictate to them what they do. And let's hold on to our traditions. We need to hold on to our traditions. How very dare you, person from another country, come here and tell us what to do and how to speak and who to. How very dare you do all that shit? But this is what you're doing, and this is why the rest of the world have such a fucking issue with you, because you're making decisions for people thousands of miles away who have nothing to do with you. They're living their lives happily. You do this all the time. Isn't it the anniversary of when they did this in Africa? Isn't the Berlin coming out to that?
And I think it's like it's the what I don't know what's the word?
Caucasity.
Caucasity is the word. It's the blissful ignorance. Like, well, why would they have anything to say? That kind of willful ignorance that. When we talk about racism, they're staring deadpan like we're not racist. But this is I don't understand how many times we can repackage, reword, break it down. Like the other day when we were talking about Andrew Schultz, and then he's trying to have this whataboutery about, you know, if a country wants to maintain its identity, it's not that you shouldn't call them racist. Yes, this is it. This is a reason why we call them racist. Like, how dare you? You think you can puppet master people's lives just because, and it's just we've got a military base, so you can't have that. How dare you?
Yeah, we need this island, one of the biggest parts as well. We need this. I know you guys used to live here and we conned you out of leaving in the first place, but no, you can't come back because we need this, and now we're leasing it. Like this is what they see as a fair trade. to be like,
Imagine.
we stole this from you for hundreds of years. Now we're like, oh God, we've got to flipping give it back. And we know that there's probably some other underhanded shit why they're even doing this deal with them. But
exactly.
Okay, now we've got to hand it back. Look, there's flipping 40 other pieces of rocks that you guys can call an island and populate that if you must, or go and live in Mauritius. Like, you know, you're just like, this is so arrogant. And when they get bombed, then they want to start being like, why are we being bombed? Like,
why are we being attacked?
Why are we being bombed? Wait. But also the fact that they're saying they need it because they have a military base there. Why have you got a military base there? Why have you got a military base there in the first fucking place?
Exactly.
Why do you need it there?
Why? Why do you need it there? And that's why, because I get mad when I see the American base in Ghana. Like, what are you doing here? And when we talk about colonization and in different ways, it's still happening. And again, I go back to Andrew Schultz trying to, it's fine. You can't have a whataboutery conversation. You cannot rationalize any of it. You cannot have a hypothetical kind of considerate conversation. You can't. Our countries are still being colonized. They still have ties. They're still beholden. When the countries that they say they so-called call third world countries have still got debt to pay, you're still taking money. There's still world debt, but yet there's no colonization and racism is fine.
And when they talk about why do we want reparations, but you're still taking money from the countries that you colonized. Why do you want to take money from the countries that you colonized? Why? Ronald said that the population, what did he say? It's 95%. Yeah. So it's 95% or just over British American, and the rest is 4%. That's because they've removed everybody else from there.
That's what on the island.
Yeah.
Is he talking about on the island?
I think so, yeah.
That's the base. Like, that's
outrageous, isn't it?
They removed everybody saying that we are going to improve it, like a humanitarian effort. That's how they went. That's how they got the people to leave.
What? Hold on.
And that's what. Why are you surprised? That's what they do.
No. Sorry,
this is what colonizers do.
Sorry, no, I'm reading Cara's comment. David Lammy, our best friend, said the benefits of the deal included closing a potential illegal migration route. Really?
Yeah. They have their base there because they're able to fly over into the Middle East easily. That's why they're positioned where they are. Like they say another thing that the British are saying is, if we don't have these islands, then we're not able to protect ourselves properly, because in effect, China could do a deal and take these islands, and then they're going to have a great base for their military campaigns. So it's like, okay, so it's okay for you guys to be able to have easy access to bomb the world, but nobody else should.
Yeah.
And what about the people that live there to say we can't have an island?
Go on. Go.
I was just going to say, and also the fact that they're saying it's a migration route.
Everywhere is though.
It's a route to stop. They're doing it to stop immigration. So you're being immigrant on somebody else's land to stop immigration. That makes sense.
Do you know what this is like? When your parents are fighting over your head and your kid going like that, and you're treating the island like a child. Like, we're going to figure it out. And it's also okay. They're there, child. Have a little dummy.
That too much credit, because at least one of the parents have got a right to the fucking child. They ain't got no right to this island.
It's true.
At all. And then you're trying to be like, we do have a right because we're it's our protection.
It's our protection.
It's the level of arrogance that your lives mean so much more than the Chagosians that were living there for centuries. Like,
minding their own business.
Security means more than them just having to deal with their island. Like, you con them and you don't even give them land. You're giving them a British passport. Why? It costs enough to live here. It's actually, and watch
them come, and then the conservatives will be like, the immigrants, the this, and the immigrant, the refugees.
Exactly, because that's what will happen.
They're going to be villainized.
You're going to let them come, and you're going to tell everybody else that they're coming here taking your jobs, and the next thing it'll be on red buses. Get rid of them. They'll be the next people that you pick on.
And the fact, Mr. David Lammy, you're coming to open your mouth to say anything. How dare you even try and justify
God
the deal?
And God forbid these people fight back. God forbid they fight back. Then you know what they'll be called. They'll be called terrorists.
Terrorists.
They fight back.
That's how the guy was talking about them. Like, these people are so ungrateful. Like, you know, we've offered them citizenship. Some of them are taking it. Some of them don't want British citizenship. They've been offered places in Mauritius as well that they can go to. They want to go back home.
I wish we had that clip. Oh, mate.
They want to go back home.
It's so wild. I was literally getting so frustrated watching this news story break. Like, you guys are so disgusting. Yeah. I'm not even going to feel bad when they come for you. It's going to be like, well, yeah, well,
it's not cool. But anyway, this is news. We'll keep an eye on it. I don't know. To be fair, I'd like to meet a Chagosian. I don't know what they look like. What is their phenotype?
They kind of look more like kind of Maori.
Maori, that's what I feel. I can see
almost in between Aboriginal and Maori looking. Like, so it's still quite an indigenous look that they have, and some of them are really dark black. Some look more Asian.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, makes sense. Just infuriated that this is still going on.
Yeah, this is their look.
Apparently, I don't think there's a lot of them, but there is. There are a few that are in London.
It says in this article, this is 2023. Also, I'm not showing the tab. This is 2023, and they're saying the BBC reported a community of 3,000 Chagosians had already settled in Crawley. So this is in 2023 October. So this has been updated. Sorry, 2024. So yeah, have been voicing their concerns over news. So the UK Mauritian. Yeah, many settled in Crawley in West Sussex when Britain bought the islands. Bought the islands in the Indian Ocean in the bought the island.
And then they've settled in Crawley. And can you imagine the racism that they're facing? And the conditions.
They beautiful island. They literally took the place, bought it. You literally took it. You took it and was like, and then said to Mauritius, "What are you gonna do about it?"
Yes. they basically went, and it's like they knocked on their door and sat down in their front room and said, "Yeah." What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
It's ours because I say so. I would love, you know what? I really love for that to happen in the Isle of Wight. Someone just to rock up, like China, to just rock up in the Isle of Wight and be like, "It's ours now." Can you imagine the Western world? They pick it up, bro.
Kara's like, Crawley is a racist area. How did they end up there? And that's the thing. You know, when they do that, just dash them somewhere. And
not somewhere. They know where they're dashing them.
Yeah. They I mean, they did kind of win a court case on it because of the levels of racism that they faced when they came for where they were placed, like just handed over to authorities who actually couldn't look after them properly. Like there wasn't the housing for them. Like, you know, there's housing around. Like, they're not going to build a whole block of flats or a whole estate around here and be like, okay, this is for you guys. They never do things like that. They place you on areas that have limited resources so that everybody living there hates you. And you hate being there because you know that you're a burden.
Exactly.
To chip away at your self-esteem and your place in the world where literally your land was stolen from in living memory. Like, literally,
exactly.
This isn't too long ago that you did this, where they're talking about, oh yeah, what we did in the 60s was out of order. You're doing the same shit now. We're probably yet to hear of islands that you have stolen around the world.
And this is similar to what we were saying about there's a generation of children who are going to be raised, grow up in Palestine, who can't stand the West. This type of language is also where you get these Chagosian kids who are going to grow up in an area that's racist, and then they fall into the stereotypes of, okay, we're bad, we're horrible, and now we find the gang life and all that type of stuff. Then you lean into those stereotypes that are projected onto you, and then it's like, yeah, these immigrants, they come and kill people and they're in gangs and all of that. It's just horrible, the brainwashing that comes with this.
They were also talking about the Falkland Islands. Again, that same guy was like, no, that's This is a totally
It's
different
different. It's different. Oh wow.
Not
But
totally
like
different.
the Falkland, the Falkland Islands are also populated, and the people there seem very happy with having their sovereignty ruled by the British. Like, you know, you're like, really?
See when they
Really?
say
Is that what they're saying? Is
They
that- is
really,
that what
they say that shit.
they really think they're doing a good thing.
I find like, because you know these people, they don't have much brains and they don't know what they're doing, and they need us to help, you know, to bring civilization to them. It's like infuriating. It is infuriating, the double standards of it all. It's just wild. They can go around doing whatever the fuck they want and no one else can.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
But anyway, so yes, and I think Mauritians, yeah, they have their own kind of colorism issues and stuff like that. I remember I loved a boy from Mauritius once.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay.
He was very beautiful in my middle school days, high school days. Anywho, that's big news, and we will keep an eye on it and see what happens. Next, I think this is for you, Nans. Kemi Badenoch.
Yeah. Kemi. Okay.
Kemi,
Yes.
Kemi.
Come on, everybody. Share. Let's talk about Kemi. So Kemi Badenoch, she's still on her way to be conservative leader, and she's really out here trying to court the media in every which way. I want to start off with a podcast that she was on recently, and within the pod, she discusses maternity pay. Is this the one? Let's listen to
any maternity pay, and people were having more babies. We need to make sure.
Well, that's because women often had to not work; they had to stay at home. So, is that the solution?
Maternity pay varies depending on who you work for, but it is a function where it's statutory maternity pay. It is a function of tax. Tax comes from people who are working. We're taking from one group of people and giving to another. This, in my view, is excessive. Businesses are closing. Businesses are not starting in the UK because they say that the burden of regulation is too high.
So maternity pay is excessive.
I think it's gone too far the other way in terms of general business regulation. We need to allow businesses, especially small businesses, to make more of their own decisions. The exact amount of maternity pay, in my view, is neither here nor there. We need to make sure that we are creating an environment where people can work and people can have more freedom to make their individual decisions.
Well, it's here nor there for people who can't afford to have a baby, isn't it?
We need to have more personal responsibility. There was a time when there wasn't any maternity pay and people were having more babies. We need to make sure.
Well, that's because women often had to not work; they had to stay at home. So, is that the solution?
That's you're putting words in my mouth. The point I'm making, Kate, is that we have got to a point where government isn't working anymore and it's tinkering everywhere. Me giving you an exact amount of what maternity pay should be when circumstances are different everywhere is not where we're starting from.
Maternity pay.
It's not where I'm starting from in this campaign. I'm talking about principles. What is it that we believe as conservatives, rather than throwing out lots of different policy ideas out there?
Yeah.
We've got to a point where government has become about technocratic micro policy management. That's not what's going to get this country growing.
Okay, so let me stop that there.
I think she is the most vile woman ever, and I hate that she is a black woman at that. But even her race aside, the paltry amount of money that you get on maternity pay is ridiculous to even bring it up. Of all of the policies that we have running through this country that needs reforming, to even talk about maternity pay without it needs to be more. We need to change it so that families actually can live on this and they can look after their kids and they can have children and not get themselves into poverty. Anything outside of that is just a heinous thing to even talk about. But to be like, actually, the government should remove it, and you know, your employers should be able to set what it is that you're going to get paid, because they probably would be like, I'm not paying you shit, and, you know, figure it out, like save up so that you could have a child. You know, just like, what type of warped world does this woman live in, and how did she get here, and how do we get rid of her?
How can we get rid of her? Statutory maternity pay for the first 6 weeks, you get 90% of your earnings before tax for the first 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
After that, it goes down to £184.03 for the next 33 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
£184.03. Now,
It's less than
the
minimum
cost
wage.
of rent is high. It's less than minimum wage. The cost of rent is high. The cost of mortgages are high. The cost of utilities are high. The cost of nappies and food and all of those things are £184.03 is not enough to cover any of that. It's not enough. And she's saying that's excessive now. A lot of companies will just give you statutory maternity pay as well. If they can get away with it, that's what they're giving you. When I was at work and I had my daughter, I was fortunate that I worked for a company who had a good maternity pay. But I still had to go back to work. I had 5 months off. And that was only because I didn't take a single day's holiday when I was pregnant. And I had accumulated, I worked every single hour. Like I literally worked the night before I had my child, I was at work. Yeah. Because I had to make sure I didn't take any time off and I was able to bank time off in lieu because I knew that I wasn't going to get a lot of time off. And there's no way in hell that I would have been able to manage on statutory pay. As soon as it kicked over to statutory pay, I was back at work.
Yeah.
Because who can live like that? She's ridiculous.
You was lucky that you had that buffer because most people, they usually do. If you have a good employer, they are like, we're going to give you 3 months pay. If you have a good one, but most people, they stick to that 6 weeks. And definitely when I had a child, it was for 6 weeks. It was a 6 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. The only reason why
because I have a husband.
Exactly. The only reason I was able to do it, and that's me as on my own here at the time, because Egypt's dad was still away. Like he was still in Grenada at the time, he hadn't come yet. But like the only reason why I was able to do that is because I banked my holiday. Like as I said, they had a good maternity pay. It was a little bit more than 6 weeks. But if I hadn't banked all of my holiday and had all this time off in lieu, there's no way I would have been able to survive for that long. There's no way.
For me, it's
just to add, the other thing of the tax, when she started off with it comes from taxpayers' money to pay another group. Our mothers not taxpayers.
Exactly.
So, we live in another bubble. Was we not working before, adding to the tax pot? That now, when you're bringing forth life to carry on bringing in workers, you're now being like, we're taking from taxpayers to give to another group. Who is this other group? Did they magically?
Who's the other group, Anna? Who's the other group? In order to get maternity pay, let's be real, to get maternity pay, you must have a pay, which means you must have a job. You must pay tax. So what's she talking about? She's the most ridiculous person in politics right now.
I'm just going in the comments because you lot are saying everything I'm saying, and I've lost my point. It will come back to me. Bardi Gang saying, as a woman, it's disgusting that she'd even say something like that. Doesn't matter if you're middle class. Most women can sympathize with each other. And then Kara's saying that's a madness at work the day before going into labor. Like, do they not understand what childbirth does to a woman's body? Well, I don't know if this is true. Dammy J saying apparently Kemi didn't take mat leave when she had her second child and quit her job. The employer called the act admirable, and it's that. But that's that thing. You're forcing women to again. You're positioning women as a burden. The birth rate is declining, but yet now you're presenting this that women in the workplace are, or maybe that's what it is. Women in the workplace are a burden, so you've got to stay at home and let the man be the breadwinner. What is this positioning that you're taking on this? Why are you leaning into this narrative that this is a problem in the workplace? And I would think, I understand, I'll give a little bit of like, yes, small businesses maybe can't be tarnished or burdened with the same responsibilities as big business. That's a fair point to look at, but do not make that be a major issue. Like we're draining our resources. It's spin. Obviously it's spin, but look, you talk about you don't want to wrap us up in policies, but that's all you politicians do. Throw out policies, make wild claims, make wild statements just to curry favor for yourself. This is about her power play to get to the top. You don't really care about what you're saying. You're also going to be issuing different policies that will not be fulfilled, will not be seen through, and just lots of rhetoric to curry favor with your constituents and your voters. That's all you're doing. So it's a bunch of nonsense, in my opinion.
But even the fact that she said that, even the fact that she was able to leave her job when she had her second child. That's because she was fortunate enough to have somebody, a partner, and to be comfortable enough to leave her job. Because you cannot leave your job if you're like, most people can't do that. They don't have the affordability of being able to, they can't do that shit. So she can't take her experience is not the wider experience of the world. It's really not.
Oh, I forgot. See, there was a multitude of shit why we needed to discuss her. She also spoke about that when she worked in McDonald's, she was like, I was brought up very middle class, and then I became working class when I got a job in McDonald's. She's a buffoon. Like, literally, like, the levels of stupidity with this woman, I can't believe that she even has a platform. I think it's so wild that somebody can be so dense to be like, I'm working class because I got a job in McDonald's. Like, that hasn't changed anything about your middle class upbringing. That hasn't changed anything about the access to money that you have at all. How dumb is she? And she's trying to be the leader of a party.
You're right. And it's the words that she said, Nana. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, she's not dumb. She's literally following the footsteps of her Asian brother, who was talking about him being poor because he didn't have Sky. I mean, yeah, you're living in a 2.4 family, like this, a well-to-do family. Come on, man.
Like for our American viewers, it's like cable network.
So do they think that we are dumb?
I became high class because I worked at Harrods. Exactly.
Right?
That's it. Literally, I'm upper class.
And it's I became working class. I put my working class jacket on. No. Come on.
Like, imagine being like that was slumming it. I worked in. You had a job. Like, literally, the woman's mad.
And this is the part, because she does quote in her rebuttal to like people. She's saying she was taken out of context. On one of the many shows, she started quoting Margaret Thatcher, and it's that, Yvonne. She's trying to be the Black Margaret Thatcher. The fact that you're quoting Margaret Thatcher as a Black woman,
Thatcher, the milk snatcher.
Oh, you Lord. Wild! But this is all part of her perfect plan to become a leader or have a significant position in the Conservative Party. She knows what she's doing, and that's the thing. She's not stupid in that respect. She's saying shit that's pissing us off, but she knows it's going to keep us talking. And then she's going to get to the position that she wants to.
I really don't know what I would do if I saw her in life. Like, she really enrages me. I don't think I'd be able to hold back from. I would have to hold her arm and give her a little shake. Be like, Kemi, before they do it. I would have to. If I see her, I've got to talk to her. Yeah. I just don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be calm words or I'm going to scream. I'm not sure.
If we're ever in a place where we see Kemi, I'm moving you to the next place, because say to her, you will not be able to be civil to her. You wouldn't, Nana. You wouldn't.
But the thing is, you just have to you'd seethe and rage, and you also know, like, okay, if you have your moment to pause and go through all the motions, Black woman attacks Black woman, and then you know what I mean. That's the thing. Kemi will say, yes, Black women are attacking me because I'm just voicing my views. I can't speak. She'll turn into, and then it'll be a whole thing. Then it'll be like, look, the blacks are turning each other.
Told you about these blacks.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's such an idiot. It's painful.
Yvonne's absolutely in capital letters saying she is not going to be the next leader of the Conservatives, and she might not, or she might.
I don't think she's going to be the leader unless she pulls a Kamala Harris. In some way, she becomes the deputy, and somehow she moves in. But she's gonna, if they get back in power, she's gonna have a job in the cabinet, definitely. And she could be quite high up as well. So. Boy, who knows? But I wouldn't put it past her. She's crafty. She's a crafty heifer, so she could get her.
She's a witch. We'll keep it. Let's have a look at this. Any more comments in the comments?
No. Oh, hang on.
Kemi.
All right, that's news we're going to keep an eye on. Next, guys, have you seen Okay, we're gonna say rest in peace to
Yeah.
Uncle John Amos. However, man is slightly not resting in peace because fuckery is afoot with his family. You got the legendary actor who's known for his roles as James Evans in Good Times, Coming to America. He passed away in August 21st.
The older Kunta Kinte.
And Kunta Kinte. He was 84. However, there's been a family feud around that. His son, Casey Amos, apparently delayed announcing his death for 6 weeks, leading to accusations from his sister Shannon and other family members. They're alleging that Casey concealed the death, cremated John without their knowledge, and excluded them from critical decisions. Now, Shannon took to socials she stated that she found out that she found out about her dad's passing from press reports. She said, "We are devastated and left with many questions about how this happened 45 days ago, learning about it through the media like so many of you." In another story she posted on socials, someone was in the ER the night my father died and pretended to be his daughter. I'm his only daughter. We believe it was Belinda Foster, the woman also posing as his publicist. Now, apparently there was a documentary or an article in 2023 in the Hollywood Reporter, or a documentary, and John's quoted as saying he believes his estranged daughter Shannon has taken advantage of him financially and emotionally, and that apparently took place during a phone call between the actor and his lawyers. And then Shannon said that, no, my brother has been brainwashing him. John's goddaughter, Amy, claimed the Roots star told he did not remember making those remarks about his daughter. So all these things are raising suspicions about foul play. All of this stuff, it's weird, it's mad. I don't know what you guys think of this. What's going on?
You know what was sad? Because even last year, I remember, I don't know if it was like he was being filmed and it came out, but he looked like maybe he had some type of a dementia and just wasn't quite there. And I think that's when the daughter was first accusing her brother of taking advantage and brainwashing him and keeping him away from the rest of the family, like they couldn't get to him. And then it kind of went away, but also there were, it's like you see something like flashing, like scrolling, and it's just like, oh my God, this really is hurting my heart because I really did love this man. He was such a phenomenal actor. And then to hear he's died and his son has hid that from the family, like, you're just scrolling and you find out that your dad has died. Like literally, and then you think, oh, he may have died yesterday, and then you find out, no, he died in August. And he's had a whole funeral and I weren't even there. Like just cremated, buried, whatever took place, but you was not a part of anything. But this, I don't know.
The level of fuckery is in pure evil to do that.
Yeah,
even if you're estranged from your sister, that's your mutual parent. You've got to give some. You know what? I'm a firm believer. You have to give people time to grieve and to deal with it. To have their moment with the person that's gone. You can't take. What right do you have to take that away from somebody? It's absolutely disgusting that she had to read about it online. It's disgusting, and I don't care what your relationship is with her. It's disgusting.
And all of the other family members, like just because you were there, you had him. There was a whole thing. He had the dad, like literally, he was supposed to be caring for his father, and his sister was saying that he isn't being cared for properly. And then the estrangement started to happen. Like literally, like members of the family cannot even get to see him. So to do all of this is so wicked.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, it seems to be about money, and it is like that. Just how do you navigate through life when you know that you've done some heinous fuckery like this to your family, to your blood, your sibling? I don't know how you would be sleeping for money. Like
for money. It's so. I don't know. I don't know how you're saying it.
Unfortunately, there are people like this, and what I know about when someone passes, even sometimes before they pass, when they become incapable of maybe managing their own finances and themselves, is that there are family members that will just take that absolute piss and to just, do things to serve their own purposes and their own agenda. They start seeing money. Before that person's even gone. They start worrying about what their inheritance is going to be. That's how they start thinking, because they genuinely don't really care about the person who's given them these things.
I wonder how because you think it's never going to happen to me. My family's all legit. I've got my will because apparently his son changed the will and all that allegedly. So all of those things. How do you protect yourself genuinely? Like how do you know? And obviously you got to get your will in place. You've got to get your assets all together. And I think that's something that people don't necessarily do because sometimes who else recently passed? There's someone else has got messy fallout from their passing. I think it might be a white person who's died. Someone recently died, and their legacy is being destroyed by family infighting. But how do you go about protecting yourself? What is it that you can do? Because if the son was able to become, well, no, I'm representing my dad, and then yes, he said this, and I've got power of attorney. It could happen.
But that's what's hard. That's absolute. You've just said it all. That's what's really hard because you can, once you get to the point of you're not able to speak for yourself, or someone deems that you're not able to speak for yourself, and this other person puts in the rights for power of attorney, they can pretty much control you. They can control where you live. They can control how you're cared for. They can control how you have access to your money if you see it at all, and they can control whatever they want with your finances. It's very difficult, and even if you've been someone who's been on top of that before you've been deemed to not be fully aware of yourself anymore, that can happen. So it's,
I don't think there's any safety mechanisms that you can put in place, because my dad had piss all, but still was taken advantage of by his niece. Like there's not really any way you can get around it. Really, it's just we just didn't know. I mean, he was shit with it. He didn't have a will. But even if he did have a will, I may not know if he doesn't tell me I have a will and this is where it is and it's with this solicitor, because his niece may have got all of that.
Yeah.
That she'd already managed to put her name down as his next of kin with the care home because I was with mum. So it's like already, and this is a man that had nothing. So let's say he was wealthy. While one parent is dying, there is somebody else that's like, actually, they're not focused on this parent anymore, and he's losing his marbles. I can swoop in. I didn't know her for shit. So it's very easy. It just takes, it wasn't even a year. It took her 3 months to swoop in and make shit very hard for us. So, it doesn't take long for somebody to swoop in. And if that was a sibling that had done that, I would have nothing. I can't say anything because they really are looking in it. But it's at least we had some type of, because I was married. So obviously I have his signature on my marriage certificate. It's like, I can prove this is my dad. Yeah. I was next before, so it took longer, but I could prove, like, look, she's not the next of kin, I am. But he had a lot of money and she had swooped in properly. So I could have a similar story like Shannon does and be talking about it in the same way. My dad died and he was buried, because she weren't going to tell me shit.
And even when you do have things in place and you entrust carers, because we, like with my gran, I was her power of attorney. Like I had power of attorney over her finances, but like the bulk of her finances are here, and she was in Grenada, and we had entrusted, we had entrusted care. She had 24-hour care providers, and she had people going there and checking on her and doing all sorts of stuff. But the carers that were looking after her still managed to fleece all of her jewelry, and I'm talking about heirlooms that had come down from her great mother, who was a slave, and had managed to pass down to generations and generations, like this thick silver bangle that went, they managed to take all of that stuff. They took every single piece of, like, just anything that meant anything to us as a family. They managed to take. It's very, very difficult to see what's happening in the moment sometimes, even if you do have things in place. Like, I know someone as well, one of my someone who's very dear to me, her sister passed away, and her sister had said, I want to leave this to the grandchildren. Yeah. And then that sister's husband has now been like, no, you can't have these things, even though it was written. He's like, no, that changed. And because he was the husband, they're taking his word for it. They get what she had in place. And she wasn't even an elderly person. She was just someone who, you know, got sick. But it's just, I think you just have to hope that people have got morals. And sometimes in life, when there's money involved, they just really don't.
The window. And look at Ronald is saying John's, like saying Uncle John's net worth is only 300,000. So that even that alone is a tragedy already, that someone of that legacy and stature is only in quotes worth 300,000. He should have a lot more in the bank. But at the same time,
he worked with life.
Yeah. It's actually crazy, but definitely that thing of death does something to people, and money in the face of death. Yeah, it can bring out a real evil in some people that it's always shocking. It's always shocking when you're faced with it.
And when it's like,
you can't believe it, right? We're like, hang on, wait.
It's just because you really people would have some type of feeling that they know that you're going to be grieving. So you think that they're going to understand that at this moment in time, you're super vulnerable. But no, they don't care. They're like, because you're super vulnerable, I can do ultimate fuckeries to you. It's just going to take more for you to fight back. Like it is very evil. Something descends on folks, man. It's scary. Scary time.
Candace Brathwaite has a similar story. Her dad was a lawyer, and when he died, her stepmom took everything. She doesn't even know where her dad is buried. It's
my God.
That's awful.
That's evil.
That's it. That level of you don't care. I don't know what goes into someone's brain, and I think that's what we're discussing. But it's just what does happen that you can go and get up the next day and be like, "This is what I've done to a family member. This is what I've done because what? This is my right. I'm gonna." Even if you're beaten as I don't know. I don't understand how you can get there. It's really, really evil. And how do you wake up? How do you continue in life? And then does it feel good sitting in this? Because I think, excuse me, someone said that John's son's an addict. So that kind of, it's not an excuse, but okay, you're an addict, so you're not even doing anything normal. You're just trying to fuel your addiction, if that is true. But if you're not an addict and you don't have anything else going on in your brain that's confusing you, how do you live life? And how do you sit and enjoy those spoils and those knowing that you're holding something like that against someone who doesn't deserve this kind of level of depravity, like wickedness done towards them?
I don't know. If we're ever at a Ghanaian party and I see my cousin there, I'll introduce you and you can ask her. How can you do these things to people? Like literally to go and clear out my dad's home, and she stopped us.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. We're literally picking up his clothes. But for some reason, she got kicks out of being like, you guys cannot do it. I don't know what happens to folks. It's very strange. Maybe it's something to do with power, just because you can. So you're going to exercise something. It's very weird. I have no idea.
When there's nothing to fight over, that's wild, because money is not, again, it's not an excuse, but you can't, okay, cool. You've just seen pound signs, you've gone greedy, your skull's just gone like, I need the money. And money, and the thing is, money doesn't last. It's not like it's just.
It's going to go, but you're going to spend it all eventually. Definitely, it's going to go.
One of my cousins died, and when he died, his kids basically started harassing like his grandmother for money and saying that he'd left a bunch of money and where's his money and all this stuff. Now, he'd never had money in his life. He didn't. We're not a rich family, and he just didn't have anything. It wasn't like that. And it was just the lack of care that they showed. He would, I know my cousin would be turning in his grave now if he could see what he did. I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. And the only story I have like that is I know someone who, one of my clients that used to be like the brother signed, like literally tried to sell, like the old school homes that we have in West London, like those old school homes. One of the sons of the family tried to sell the house from under the parents, like noses. Like the mum had, I don't know, mum had dementia, and dad was fine. But then he moved, I think, I'm remembering right, moved into the house kind of like to help support, but then started to sell it out. And she was in a long, I don't know how it was resolved in the end. And it's just like, she's like, I just don't understand. And also, I don't understand how Why do you want this? Like, why would you do this? And they've got other siblings and they had family things, and they just caused big friction within the house and in the home. The dad is, that's it. I think the dad, he tricked the dad into signing something. Like he said, oh, sign this. And then come to find out it's an actual document signing over the house. That's what it was. So he tricked the dad. And then the dad's like, why would you do this? Why would you do this?
That's so crazy. Because what are you going? So you're gonna get all the money and then you're gonna run with it and never see your family again. Like, what are you really gonna do? Like forevermore.
And it's those that they'll tell over the family and a nothing. Like, well, this is what it is. Like he wasn't hiding. I would go, if I'm gonna do that, I'm going into hiding. Because there has to be
a run. Yeah, you got to run. Like, I'm off now. I'm going to the jungle. Like
right.
No one.
And that's one of my friends. His dad had like looked after his grandmother for, I want to say, about 30 something years. He'd like moved in, looked after her for 30 something years. When she died, his siblings who didn't fart on her basically clapped the yard. And he was like out on the streets looking for somewhere to live. Like, I don't get, it's like you said, I don't get what it is. Is it power? What is it that you have this over somebody else? But where's your decency? Where's your actual decency? That person is grieving as well on top of it all. They're grieving for their loss.
I wonder if, like, I don't know, like there's a spirit, when things like this happen, there's an internal spiritual opening that is like, you can go this way or that way. And I don't understand this. It sounds like a common story, but it's a common occurrence. And so is it that humans are inherently, we're just bad, but what is the thing? There has to be a shift in where you feel this rush of something and you must go into that evil light. What is the turning point? What is that? That's the part that I'd love to explore. Is it like your hormone levels go to a certain thing and then it just, something clouds your brain and you just have to go this way because you think that it's your right to do this thing? How does it?
I need to ask someone. I need to ask somebody who's done the fuckeries.
Yeah, like
right now. Yes, that's true.
Yes.
What were you thinking?
Tell me the process of why you did it. Like,
why?
What was the methodology? What was you thinking? What did you think they were thinking?
Yeah.
Like, just I need to know. Why?
Yeah, because we're never going to know because we haven't done the fuckeries.
Yeah,
but you absolutely have to talk to someone who's done it, and they're like, "Yeah, what?
Yeah. That's the part. And also, what part of the temptation do you need to avoid? Because it seemingly happens to normal people. You're minding your own business, and one day I'm going to wake up. Yes, I'm going to take the house from my like. I'm going to take
how they survive. Like, how do you get up every day knowing that you've caused such? How do you do it? I don't get it.
Or when you see the money in your account and you're spending the money, like there would always be a thing. Like there must be a pain that goes along with it that you're just ignoring. But there has to be that niggling thing of, I did a proper fuckeries to get this.
But you know when, so just as a light-hearted moment, KW says it can go the other way too, where the kids take good care of Granny, then Granny leaves everything to the cat. Granny never told the truth. Like,
that type of stuff, you're not getting a proper funeral, you know. Like, don't do that. Okay, I came up from the bottom, so you've got to come up from the bottom too. No,
but
don't.
You might not know. You might not know until after the funeral.
And the thing is, it could be that
you know the gravestone. I mean, you can just like not do the gravestone or something. Like, there's something that you can be like, I'm not doing that now because of what you did.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I wonder, it is that. What's that moment? Yeah, I want to let anyone in the comments care.
I do think people that do that fuckeries will never rest. Like, I do think that what you've done, the evil that you've done to get these things and to inflict that pain on somebody, you will never see. What does what's her name say in Color Purple? Until you do right by me,
everything you do will fail.
Everything you do. Yeah, I sincerely feel that. The people that have got my granny's jewelry and the people that rolled up in a van and took all her shit from her yard, I genuinely feel that you lot are cursed. I do. Yeah. You lot are cursed.
I feel like there's that, but law of averages, the amount of people in the world that have done this fuckery, there's people that just live and die, have done that, and they move on. So unless if they believe in the afterlife and there's stuff like that, whatever you believe. But there's people that will just exist during this time, have done this fuckery, and they will never, they won't see the error of their ways. Nothing will show them. I don't know. Because I'd like to think that
I think somehow
what happens?
It balances itself. So it may not be here. Like there's definitely a lot of people that have done some evil shit, and they seem to have thriving lives. In this world. Like I don't think that's how karma always works. Like I think sometimes you'll be okay here, but are you gonna come back and come back as an amoeba or something? Like I feel like in some ways, how your soul's expression expands, you have dulled it in some way. So your soul has to learn another lesson again. And you may have to keep coming here, and shit happens. Like there has to be some type of learning that there has to be a repercussion, because you can't thrive in a space of love when you keep on doing shitty things. So you may be all right this time, but next time it may be peak for you, and then you're gonna have to atone for the shit that you've done in lots of different ways. So we may never see it.
But what I need is for that you get one day of clarity then in your new existence, because that's what I like the idea of. You come back as a piece of shit or a dung beetle, all that type of stuff. But you need to wake up as a dung beetle and have a moment where, oh my God, this is what I did. Because otherwise then you're never going to know that you're learning, because you're you're just a new entity. So you need to have a moment where, because it could be that anything that we do, anytime we have something bad happen to us, it could have been something that we did in a former life, right? So like, and something when you're like, why did that happen to me? But that was a punishment coming through.
It could be a learning that your soul needs to go through. You did some shit, you're gonna experience that shit. It could just be all a learning. I mean, who knows? Or maybe people just do shitty things and they're fine.
And that's what I
don't want to do shitty things to know on the other side that there was a punishment to it. Like I still will just try and stay in the light, I guess. I mean, there were some NDO stories and NDE stories, near-death experiences, and they're like, they did go to a kind of bit of a hell. Like it wasn't, they weren't walking to the light, and they weren't surrounded by love. They felt despair. They felt really scared. They felt haunted. There are stories of people having that as well. So maybe there is a version of a hell out there if you're fucked enough. Who knows?
I mean, I'm definitely I'm not going to try it out. I'm going to stay living nicely. I don't want to know. I do not want to go to the other side and be like, oh my God, if only I didn't do, steal Farrah's house from her. If only
like huge things. There's one story, it's called Pascal Beverly. If anybody wants to look into this guy, he was a medium of sorts, and he tells a story of a woman that would come to him, and she had passed over, and she was like, her karma was she was seeing all of the beggars that she never gave money to. Like there were so many things that you like, this is really petty in life. Like I walk past beggars all the time, but they were shown to her like that was a chance for you to gain status in the afterlife, and she didn't. She was just like, oh shit. Or there was a prostitute that needed help, and she just kind of like shunned her, and it was like that was mega points if you would just help this person. And she was telling him like, this is what it's like they show you all of these things and you can atone for it, and then you move up to different levels. But I don't know, it could be true. Maybe that's what happens in death. And so
maybe
that's a bit like The Good Place. The Good Place has
it is. It is.
Yeah,
it is like this place. It's exactly like
this was written in the 1800s. His account.
Yeah, so
it's very interesting. There's loads to it. Also, like she died, and life was happening her life carried on in the corner of the room that she had lived in, but it was like a whole different dimension. She was like, everything happens in the one place. It's like just different layers. It's fascinating. Pascal Beverly is really, really interesting.
I like the sound of that. I like things like that.
Yeah,
look it up.
I wish somebody would turn his writings into like a series or something.
Audio.
So interesting.
Or just audio. Give me the audio.
Yeah.
We'll take that.
Probably the Good Place based some of that on that, I'm sure.
Maybe it's true.
Probably. They dig in the crates. Well, anyway, that's some news that we're going to keep. Well, not to keep an eye on, but maybe I don't know what's going to happen to this. Definitely news.
What's interesting, just before we move on quickly, it is interesting that both the dads from Coming to America died within weeks of each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true. James O.
I wonder if John Amos put his foot in his royal ass.
Exactly. I want to jump to okay, let's go to 45% of women will be single and childless in 2030. How do you feel about that?
What, like 6 years time?
2030.
2030.
They're saying it's going to be 45% of women. What happens?
Listen, Morgan Stanley economists and their rise of the she economy report. Now, this report came out in 2019, but it's kind of stirring up a little bit of conversation today. They project that. Hold on, let me get a little image up just so you can have something to look at. They project that. Sorry, I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm doing auntie stuff. 1 second, let me finish my words. They project that 45% of women will be single and childless in 2030, up from 41% in 2018. Should this projection be accurate, it would make this the fastest growing cohort in America. I'll get back to that. But what's driving this number up? Several factors, including the average age of marriage is increasing. Women are more focused on advancing their careers. Women desire more financial independence. Relationship standards are higher. Personal fulfillment is a priority. And so then when you apply the 45% projection from the report to Black American women, an estimated 9.9 million Black women could be single and childless by 2030. And in terms of current statistics for Black women in the UK, sorry, was it UK? No. And in current statistics for Black women in the US, data shows that about 48% of Black women have never been married as of 2020, reflecting a gradual increase over time from 44% in 2008, right? In the UK, marriage rates have been declining for all groups, including Black women. According to the UK's Office for National Statistics, younger people are delaying marriage or choosing not to marry at all. Black Caribbean and Black African populations in the UK also show lower marriage rates compared to other ethnic groups, with many opting for cohabitation or remaining single. What do you think?
A lot of blame on women there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sorry?
was it 48%? Was it?
Yep.
That won't be married. At what age? Did they give an age of when this?
No, they didn't give an age. They're just talk.
So it could be 20-year-olds.
Exactly. And I would expect them to not be. It's like, what's the age? What's the age of this 48%? It could be babies they're talking. Like, what are you actually saying? I mean, there is. I could see it taking place, but as somebody said, was it Cara says, men. That's the change, isn't it? It's like actually life has changed. So yes, not every woman needs to get married like before. So then if marriage is an institution that anybody wants to save, then men need to pivot from you can't just be an asshole and get a wife. No, that doesn't work anymore because financially you're not needed like that. So then
Cara said it
in the comments.
She said our careers have nothing to do with it. We can multitask.
At all.
Exactly.
Career has nothing to do with it. Also, like if they wanted to reshape anything, you change the cost of living so that only one person does need to work. It's changed now. 2 people need to work. So a woman's always going to work. Now, if she's working and she can pay her own bills, which a man was needed for. I mean, you needed a man to get a flipping bank account before. Now all of these things are not needed. Men need to figure out what are they needed for. And then you bring that to the table and marriage will probably go up.
Yeah, I think that's very, very simple. Ronald, no, it's not. Ronald, it's not about Black women. It was a general study about women in general. So I drilled in to just see what it meant for Black women. It's a bit of a hypothetical because, they don't necessarily go into those details when they do these surveys. So we take that with a pinch of salt, but then we can also look at like what that means in our community, what that means for us. It's all of those things. we've come away from the fact that women are children because we were infantilized back in the day and not allowed to vote, not allowed to think, not allowed to read, treated like they treated black folks and non-white people. So we were all put in the same bin. And now it's like, oh yeah, we can think, we can create, we can invent, we can work. We don't need you guys. And this this study is for what? I mean, it was a bigger study called the Sheconomy. So it's looking at all the things. I don't know. I'm taking this bit out. I don't know if it was posed to make us feel some type of way about our independence and stuff like that. But that's just a bit that I pulled out to have this discussion today, just to caveat. But we don't need this to be seen as a difficult thing, bad thing. If men are worried or if other women are worried, then we need to change the status quo. And it's men, yeah, I guess.
Oh, we got a super sticker.
What does the super sticker mean? I've never seen this before.
Thank you. Is that
What
Stefan?
Stefan Ox.
Yes, it's just like another way of doing a super chat.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
you very much. Yeah, so I don't know.
Because I do wonder, these things always come up, but I don't hear of women complaining about not getting married. Like, do people care really? Is there a whole load of folks out there really being like, I really want to get married? Is that actually a thing?
I don't think I've spoken to enough women to have that conversation. I don't think the rhetoric out there is clear. All I know is that women are pissed off with this caliber of men, and that's what's a communal thing across the board, whatever race or wherever you're from. Generally, men and when women are not taking it anymore from men, they're just getting more and more into their like, if I can't get a decent man, let me just lean into being a badass bitch boss, and I can be a parent without having the annoyance of a person that's going to tell me what to do. So that's what I'm seeing. I don't know if that dream has been removed. I'm not sure. I don't know if you've heard anything, Farrah, but I don't think I can say that has changed. I think it's just fuckery's no longer being tolerated.
I think there's women that want to get married. I think there's women that don't believe in marriage. I think that's always been the case. But I think it's like you guys said as well, like what women aren't going to do is just marry for marrying's sake. I think that's gone. I think that's declined. Women marrying for marrying's sake and just putting up with shit because they are able to do, things themselves. That's not to say that they don't want a relationship, but you're not just going to settle for the first man that shows his dick to you.
that part.
And a lot of them will just throw a dick, innit?
That's what I mean. It's got to be more than that.
Body gang, this is the point. In real life, no, but the comments online seem to tear women down who are pregnant that are not married. Example, DDG and Howley right now. That is a constant question. I'm seeing that. Why would you break up after having a baby? And I've just seen it in blanket. I don't know if everyone's being nuanced, but it seems to be, Hattie, why are you why are you breaking up? You need this man in your life. Man, the boy's been fucking for a little while from what we've seen online. People have been waiting for him to kind of get out of the situation. And people are actually more, I'm seeing people also like, you got to be careful about who you let shoot up your club. So all of those things. But it does seem to be like, well, Hallie, what are you going to do now? Now you're a single mum. Now that's, but how
that's
about
the part that I hate as well, that the blame is all on her, always on the woman. I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's such a random one. Like, Ronald's, are you assuming that men are concerned about this trend towards single, childless women? Well, I don't get what you're asking. Are we assuming that men care?
They're showing that they are caring. They're showing that in the comments. If you're looking at the comments, they're showing that it's similar to like all these women trying to be independent. You're going to end up childless and single, and that's been something a disrespect that's been beaten across our faces, especially as a black woman. It's like that's been a weapon to be thrown at us, just to make us feel even less than and not worthy, and that we're doing a disservice to ourselves and to the community for not wanting to settle with a man that will impregnate us. So if we don't have a man and we don't have kids, we're just less of a woman. So that's been something that's been used against us for time. And now we're like, okay, so fuck it. I don't actually care, because raising a child is difficult. And if you don't have all your shit together, it's not a nice thing for women to be left alone raising a child, especially if you don't have all the capacity to do so. So let me not do that. Let me not just let any man, and men have been able to get away and just fuck anyone and make babies and leave them. So
Yeah.
maybe I don't know how to respond to that, but men need to. They're being challenged, and I think that's what's causing an issue.
Definitely. You know, I was reading over a stat, and although there's this whole thing of like black on black crime and so many young black boys dying, there's a similar thing with white boys dying as well, in very similar numbers, sometimes higher. It's just not the same thing. They're not dying through getting shot or stabbed. They're dying through doing stupid things, drug overdoses, actually like suicides. Like, so the rate of young men leaving the earth doesn't seem to have a color line. It's just different ways that they're doing it, but they're in crisis. That all that suggests is that men are in crisis, and then women are seeing the crisis and being like, I'm not going to save you or be party to this because I've got my own shit to deal with. Whereas before, you got carried along and had to deal with a man's shit because you had to, because you were financially dependent on him. So now men have to think about, how can I be an effective human being? What's my place in society? What does masculinity even mean? Because it didn't mean what it did. Even 10 years ago. It's changing. It's a different world.
Just for is that a super chat from women? Thank you. And she said, or they say, men don't want children. They want to give you children to humble you and slow you down. Cardi and Offset is a prime example. Prime. Thank you for the super chat and thank you for that comment. Prime.
Yeah. And remember, Cardi ain't the only one. You had 4 children before her.
Yeah.
So dude has been out here doing shit, like literally giving women kids and moving on to another one. And could we not say the same for Nick Cannon
and Future? All of them out there. And
same thing.
And also they've been using their dicks against us in regards to the fact that that we have a time limit on giving birth. So there's also that's also been used to scare us into it. But then also
we'll get onto that next.
Yeah.
Then what happens is they go and they get a younger model.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a lot of people that are maybe single as well, women, like you haven't necessarily. There are women out there who have been in relationships and they haven't been the right type of relationships, so they've not had a child because the relationships that they've been in, they've not felt safe enough to maybe have a child with that person, but have stuck in those relationships, or they've wanted the child and the person they've been with doesn't want children.
Exactly.
there's that one too.
Yeah.
So then their years go by and they are, as we know, on a clock, and then that person moves on and they move on to a younger model, and they're there at an age where they are suddenly single in their late 30s, early 40s. I see it time and time again. I'm just talking from my own experience, but there was a bunch of women like that.
Too many. It's actually crazy. And that's the thing. It is like, so then where are the counterparts? What are they doing? What are the men doing? Because I don't seem to see too many men having these conversations. I know there are slightly more women on the earth, but it's not in the levels of how many women I know that are single. So it's like, so where are all of the men and what are they doing, or what are they conversating about? Like what's going on?
Guys in the chat, please share your comments. What are you not talking about? Apart and not putting down women, what are you actually talking about to how to fix yourselves up? Stephen Ox is saying demand and supply, men are sport for choice. Yeah, I think that rhetoric might get worn out in the next few years, because people there's a way of like, we're sport for choice. But after a while, there are going to be there's more and more women who are waking up and they're not going to be the option. And also sport for choice, but what type of choice are you being sport for? Women that don't rate you, that don't respect you, and not giving you the care that you might deserve. So then that sport for choice is not necessarily sport for choice. It's more like you're just picking shit because you ain't got nothing else, or you're picking women that don't care for you. So it's not necessarily sport for choice.
And it's also what I said. I've been clocking this a lot lately, and I had a conversation, funnily enough, with like one of my friends today about like this thing where they start dating younger, much younger. So you have all these women who are have had these relationships, and they get left, and then they just date younger. The guys just date younger. That happens.
So like much. The 40-something-year-olds will then just be like, okay, now I'm just dating a 25-year-old. So they're just in a whole different pool
Exactly.
of women that they're dating. Oh,
That's
I've
what
seen
Stephens
it a
just said.
lot
Men
lately.
can go younger though. Yes, they can go
Yeah.
younger, and then they. But again, I wonder when. And let's see the stats. There's so many stats that we need to look at because we can have these surface level narratives. Men can go younger, but how long is that woman staying around? Because you think you can trap a younger girl with her, with kids and stuff like that. But when she wakes up and you need that care, and she's like, "Is it? Fuck you, I'm done with you." What's the stats on that?
They're not
Let's
thinking
have a
of
look at
that.
those stats.
When
I know
they're
they're
at
not.
these ages, they're not thinking of that because they're
I know
also
they're not.
thinking that they can do the whole thing of I'll mold this person. So I'm being very generic, but some of them think
No, it's
that they
true.
can change. They have a better. The younger person has less baggage than the woman who is more mature. So let me go for the younger person who can maybe adapt to my way of thinking, and then
And
they're not thinking about in 30 years' time when they've kind of caught up.
A good number of men do not feel valued, so they just give up like some women do. Also, there is a good number of advanced age men who are single and childless. That's a fact as well.
Yeah,
that's not spoken about enough in regards to a lot of them left childless and single because everyone assumes a man's got a kid at the very least. Also, not feeling valued because you lot don't know your value and you don't have that conversation to understand how to reset. As someone said earlier, and as Nana said it, men need a reset. We have said this so many times. The man of old, the man that goes and chops down wood, man can't even fucking put up an IKEA shelf. They can't plumb. They can't electrician.
I do wonder. I'd love to talk to somebody that is doing like speed dating shows, really, because they always, from when I used to be a promoter and it was a thing that was like when speed dating was coming along, it was always very easy to get women, but to get the men to sign up to do it, that was generally a chore. So I always wonder, where are they? What are they doing? Like, if you are a single guy, how hard is it? And where are you looking as well? I'm really fascinated. Like, where are the hordes of the men that are single?
Someone told me today. Again, I'm going back to this conversation about older women and young versus younger, whatever. But they basically said that when I broke up with my partner, I knew I was going to date young, and I was like, well, what? Like, why? I just knew that it would be someone who's much younger. I was just like, why is that a thing? Yeah.
I'm confused. Are you blaming men for the trend towards single childless women, or has the subject changed?
What I am saying is that women shouldn't get the blame totally. I think that's what we're all saying. It's not just women on their own. Takes two to tango or two not.
This is the thing. You can't. How are you need a man to also not be single and to have a child. So it has to be a two-way thing. Like, it can't be that women are just doing this. Yes, there are some women who are like, I don't want to have a child, and that's there are men that feel the same. That's increasing in itself. But there are also lots of people that are like, I do want a partner. And where are you finding these partners is the thing. There's so many good women, and the mind boggles that I don't have a selection of good men to be like, oh, you two would do well together.
You'd match.
That's been on the ground. Like, so where are they? Where are the good men, single ones? Where are they?
Unfortunately for men, and this is I'm definitely not a woman that shits on black men, for sure. I love black men. I've got very good male black friends. But what I think has been a problem that no one has checked properly, or men haven't checked properly, is that for a long time, fuckery behavior has been celebrated. And it's in our music, it's in our culture, it's in our entertainment, that having loads of women fucking out, doing all this that has been celebrated. Men haven't been raised, or boys haven't been raised to look at one woman, a marriage and a family as the goal. Women were, but men weren't. Boys were told to go, as we said many times, sow your royal oats, don't settle down, focus on your business. Women will be there at the end of the day. So that narrative has been there. So now when women are like, nah, we can't just accept this and we don't have to. You guys haven't played catch up. So you lot have been brainwashed as well. And that's where the disconnect is. You lot think that stereotype that you had is going to last. It's not lasting anymore. So it is, unfortunately, you lot's problem that you guys celebrated this rough and ready persona. It's not a thing. It's not right. It's not something that we can work with in this day and age. How can women sit there and say, yeah, you know what, it's all right? You know, when they say that, you know, back in the old days, grandma stuck with granddad and granddad had kids all over the place. And grandma didn't leave it. Do we know what?
But it's like Alan said, grandma couldn't have her own bank account.
That's what I'm saying. Grandma had headache and stress. That's why grandma was shouting half the time. Grandma went to her grave early with dementia and a heart attack. Grandma was stressed. Grandma and granddad living in the same house in silence, not even talking to each other.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what you're saying is good.
How many of us know those families where I have bare aunties and uncles who weren't even in the same country. You're literally just legally married, basically.
You say in the same country? Absolutely.
You know, you didn't even see uncle that much because he was always in Ghana, and then he would come back maybe for a month, a year, and that was their marriage. That was, and they were married. Like, that's not how lots of people want to live their lives. They actually do want a partnership. So there is something in it. We have to. I think you're spot on with it, AK. Like, there's a level of that kind of so you're wildos. I think it's slightly changing. I don't know. There's a few young people that are around me, and they are firmly like, you only need to have like 1 or 2 relationships, and you stick with that woman because you're going to be more fruitful in your life than dating, spending money. Like, you're wasting your energy. And I think there's some young uns, and it's seeping in. They're actually being able to understand it, especially in this whole kind of entrepreneurial age, where so many of them are like, look at the top CEOs. Why are they all married? Like, why is that a thing? And so maybe there's something in the hustle culture where people are understanding, actually living a fast life, like being like an Andrew Tate, it's not the way. Like, it's not how you sustain your life force or have a happy life, really. Chasing skirt, it's not how it goes.
It's definitely, I feel there's something in the younger generation realizing that lie was also, you could just go it alone. No, start looking at partnering up, and what does that look like? And Sistrian's right. Right now, the UK is not set up for raising families. Childcare is ridiculous. Rents are ridiculous. Pay is poor. Then you want people to start families, and that's another thing, because that's where we're talking about the stats. Those stats are so overarching, but when you get into the nitty-gritty, it could be like there's a lot of cohabiting, right? Cohabitation, that's the word. There could be that. So the marriage isn't happening, but cohabiting might serve you better. You know what I mean? Because when you lose certain benefits, because remember, that's why they talk about the benefit system being a detriment to the family, because actually being single, sometimes in the benefit system, but back in the day, that you fared better than being a married couple, because then you'd have more.
That's definitely back in the day, though. Definitely back in the day. I mean, look at what we were just talking about as well, just, about people want to have babies and shit, but look at the maternity pay. People want to have babies. You're giving us £184. Not giving, we're getting £184 a week, and we're supposed to have babies. And then you get child benefit, and that gets capped the minute you start to earn a decent wage. What they deem as decent.
For grown women only says they glorify Future and put down Russell Wilson, and that because someone else said that not all men buy into that. But if you look at the social media bubble, Russell Wilson gets gunned every day for being a good man. Sierra gets cussed out for not staying with Future. Cardi B, we had men advocating for her to stay with Offset. They made him. They was it T.I. and them telling her stay with him. And Diddy and Sweet saying stay with him.
Yeah,
that's what men were doing in public.
Yeah,
and now look where she's at now.
Now men are saying that she needs to be on an island and get wiped out.
And getting wiped out because she had sex when she was pregnant. Like, are you not fucking mad? What's this? Why? Why make it stop? And no, I don't think I said cohabiting.
She did. I heard it too.
I like that term though.
I like that term. I think it's gonna be a new term. Cohabiting.
Coco says white corporate men. Go on, carry on. Coco says white corporate men are not having random children all over the place.
I don't know. We don't know. The only thing I will say, like I said, I don't like to talk about us in a way in comparison to them. However, What I do know is that we talk way too much. Our business is in the streets all day, every day, everywhere. I don't like that. That's the only thing I don't like. I think too much of our business is in the streets. We talk too much. So we don't know if white corporate men are not having kids.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not because they're scared of them losing their money to the multiple baby mothers. So maybe they're just settling and doing what they need to do.
They're out here doing shit. White folks, have you been in the groups where it's, are you dating my boyfriend?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's full of white women putting a picture up of their dude and 3 other chicks being like, I was dating him last week. Like it's the Wild West for everybody. Nobody is safe out here.
Yeah, look, Boris had 11 kids.
Said, Boris had 11 kids.
Yeah,
Boris don't even know how many people he's fathered.
We can't say this, KW. We can't actually say the Asian community does not have this problem. There's one thing that we shouldn't do. I think I really want to get Black people to stop doing this, comparing ourselves to communities that we're not intrinsically a part of, because they're not in this conversation and we're not in their conversation. There's in the parallel space in somewhere else on the internet. There's 3 Indian aunties.
There's 3 Indian aunties.
Your Asian aunties could never. There was someone else having this same conversation. I never forget. I had a conversation with a woman. We were talking about we're doing some work, potentially working together, and she said, we in my community, we always say you Black people stick together. You do so well. I said, sis, do you know that that's what gets? We say this all the time to ourselves. The Asian community are so united. We got to be more like the Asians. She said, I know that's one person, but that's what she's saying. They see that we galvanize, we protest, we do all these things. We do things that they don't do. So we have to stop that. But it's very easy to do that. We just don't know. It's so easy to think that, look over the fence and think they're better. They're not. I'm not saying better.
It's exactly the same. It's the same conversation, especially when we had the shop in Kentish Town. There were so many different people coming in. And the craziest thing was how many Asian people, as you Americans call them South Asians, but to us they're Asian, would come in and have similar stories as us. So even to the creation of civilization, that one of them was like, because like all humans kind of came from this part of Asia, and you're like, it's Africa. This is standardly like this is arting, and they were like, no, this is our stories. It was exactly the same shit. The same thing about standing together, them being like, we all have one religion, but there's so many different lines. Like it was the same conversations they're having in their echo chamber, like worse sorted, yet you guys are making so much strides. Like, look at your representation on TV, like all of that, and then you're looking at them like, what the hell are you talking about? You got Bollywood, and they're like, yeah, but that's Indians. I'm Bangladesh. It's different. So you're like, everybody was going through their shit.
Absolutely. It's so it's about the power. It's where you see the power, isn't it? Because it's where you see the power.
What do you call it, Nana? The Olympics.
Yes.
Yeah. Olympics.
We had that often in the shop.
Kemi was telling me off. It is not as common in other communities. Stop killing yourself, AK. But I'm not. Look, I think every community has its leaning towards a thing that they do more than others. But it doesn't mean to say that it doesn't manifest in another way as a detriment to the other community. So I just think that we have to. But I genuinely cannot say that I know that in the South Asian community in the UK, they don't have a problem with kids. They have certain situations that I can't speak on. I really can't speak on, but I have a stereotypical viewpoint on how those communities are set up and the issues that go on amongst those communities. There's lots of things that we can read about, and I don't want to say them here to get accused of, say, disrespecting anyone's culture, but there's things within their community that is just as detrimental when it comes to relationships and the family setup and the family structure. I'm sure if you speak to a bunch of South Asian women, there's a lot of people that are trying to shake off the shackles of their religion, their religious boundaries. So we have to, I'm just saying, I just genuinely can't say I know any different. I can't.
Yeah. Abuse is definitely more prevalent in their community, definitely. And I live amongst a lot of Asians. I'm in East London, and I also lived in Luton in Bury Park, which is notoriously where a lot of Asians are as well. And the abuse was crazy. And not just like a husband and wife. This is abuse going all the way around. Siblings, especially brothers just beating up their sisters, and that it's just normal, standard. Nobody's going to do anything. The police don't even attend the house. My next door neighbors this morning woke up fighting. That is so standard for them to be fighting all the time. Nobody even bats an eyelid. But it's like, it would be so different if the amount that they fight was taking place in this house. The police would probably have a car outside. So there's a level of, we don't know the shit that goes on in other people's houses at all, because they're also not policed in the same way, and they don't get the same PR as black folks do. So we're not the worst. We're just not, by far. We are not the worst. And other people look at our communities like, you guys actually hold it together. And then, especially when they know us, that's the other thing. They are like, it's not as bad as what folks say or portray that you guys are going through.
And look at that, the Asian guy that was talking about, you know, run to a black woman and he needs help. There's a strength and resilience that they have that they admire in us, that I would say stereotypically, that's what I think the viewpoint is, as along with the negative stereotypes that we get. And again, when we're bringing it back to the conversation about single women, we have to look at the women that are rejecting religious boundaries and oppression, because there is, and especially non-white women in the West are definitely shaking off the shackles of certain oppressions, stereotypical, sexist and religious oppressions. So that we do have to look at the statistics for South Asian women and East Asian women, what's going on in there, what are they rejecting in order just to have a freer life and not be burdened down with children and abusive men, or, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm Coco, I think you're spot on about the marriage thing. Definitely, there are differences in the value placed on marriage with different communities. Definitely, I do think, especially in the UK, maybe this is the same in America, but with black people, I think marriage it's not put on that pedestal. Like, definitely with a lot of my white friends, by the time they were 25, that it's just seemed to be a part of the course. You got married, like that was you're with your boyfriend, you're gonna get married. But then financially, they could do that. There was money that went into that wedding. It's very different for us. So I think there's lots of things where it's not going to be that important. I think it's that important. I hate to hear that people have spent 30K on a wedding. I absolutely hate it. And that is seen as little money now. People are spending 60K on a wedding. It's a nonsense. Go and get a mortgage. Like, you don't need that day. It's just a party. It's the most ridiculous thing to do, to spend so much money on a day. It literally means nothing.
Coco, I'm so glad my child didn't tune into this. I do want to understand what we're saying that's annoying you. For Grown Women Only says religion oppression is a thing. KW says, I live in a predominantly white area. When the men beat up the women when football team loses, feral kids smashing up the shops, social workers are at their homes every day. Women have had enough. Like, and I think it's, you know, plenty of white couples sleeping in separate rooms. And I think there's all those we have those top line stereotypes that we think we know. And then you have these communities where these things are really, really happening. And the thing about that, white women that are in relationships that are stale and dry, we know that stereotype. So in this thing, in the 45% of white women are saying enough is enough. That's the reason. Why am I looking cute and I'm in a bed and I'm prim and proper in a single bed and my man's bed is over there? We can't even touch each other. Come on. Yes, women are tired.
It's that. And somebody asks, why is marriage even a goal? I mean, I think there are benefits to the institution of it, the union of it, what the benefits that it garners. I just don't think you should spend anything more than your means, and that for most people is probably like 5 to 10K. And that even still sounds ridiculous to me, but generally that's how much it's going to cost for a party in it. So, but I don't think it should go over that at all. Or just go to a registry office. You don't need the pomp and ceremony.
You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens in 2030 when we're doing the show. We'll have a conversation and see what the stats are. I want to see stats on how many men who go for younger women.
You're laughing like 2030 is that far away. It's really not even that far away.
I know, it's just around the corner.
I'm literally laughing. It's 2025 in a minute.
That's what I want to see some stats on how many men that go for younger women, and even if they go the whole hog and get married and have kids, how many are with them till their dying day, and how many younger women, when they get to a certain point, are like, "Fuck this old dick, I'm off." I'd like to see the stats on that, and when I see those stats,
what are we at now with divorce? Is it at 60% yet? Swear it keeps on creeping up. So they're probably not going to be together. You're going to have probably like 15 years out of a young thing, I think.
I think
if
so.
You're lucky. If you're lucky. And then you're going to try and get that hospice wife. So you're going to be old and shriveled up, and then you're going to try and get another old thing to come and look after you.
That's true, though. That's when they revert back. But they don't go like that same age. They maybe still go like 5 years younger.
Yeah.
That woman who didn't have anyone who wants to now look after you. The Mary Seacole effect. Yes.
Glenn Helm says the stats of men who do that must be a small percentage, though. In regards to getting married, like finding a young thing or surviving the relationship, like not having their woman run out on them when they really fall. Okay, I still don't get it, Coco, but yeah. All right. I've missed a lot, but I definitely think people idealize white relationships and romanticize white partners when, regardless of race, everyone has issues. Patriarchy doesn't discriminate. That's the thing. I think it's that. Oh, sorry. Yes, the hospice wife thing. It is that, and I think, and I don't think that's what Coco is saying, but I just think that there are different. Definitely, I'm not going to say that. Yes, we have an issue with single parenthood within the Black community. We have an issue within our community about how Black women and Black men view, treat, and appreciate each other. We definitely have an issue, but I just don't want to say that over there is better, over there we're the worst, or anything like that, because we just don't know, because different dynamics cause different issues.
Yeah, it's not, and then it depends on the class as well. They have their same issues. White working class families are going through the same thing. There is a high number of single parents. Like, so this is a society problem. Like, we actually have to think about what our roles are and what we're going to do and what support is out there actually for people so that they can live the lives that they want. It's hard.
But also, Simon says marriage should be seen as a business deal, combining the resources of two families to build, hopefully with a splash of love and companionship. I'm not even sure. I bought into that for a second. I'm not even sure if that's the thing, because then I don't think you shouldn't need to do that. It should just be as simple as, I love this person. I love this person. Let's see what we can do. And I don't know if that's romanticizing it. The business side of it, I do get the business side of it. Okay, yeah, speak. Because, you know, it's starting to be the thing, like it should be a business. But I think there's something missing in that as well. And I don't know if that's the way to go. I don't think humans
I think it's how you look at business.
Yeah,
it's the viewpoint that you'll have on a business. There's definitely why it's not just the love of it all is because
I get that.
It's whimsical. And so if you think of it in terms of a structure like you would a business, like there are so many different things that need to be balanced within it, and then a level of commitment, and you're going to keep on working at it, and that it's not just me and this person. It really is how our families gel, how our friends work out together, what our aims are, our foundations. If more people thought about it structurally like that, I think there'd be more marriages that actually survived. But because people do think about love, and I love this person, some folks don't even have conversations about how, if they want kids or not.
I think there's that.
How we're going to raise them.
Right.
Like, I don't
Sorry, I was going to say approach. Maybe I understand it. When I read it, I thought, I understand it, because if you approached it like you would a new job, you may not get into relationships that aren't right for you.
Yes.
You know? So I kind of understand the sentiment behind that.
I did, and I just thought, I wonder if this is now becoming a thing. Do people understand what? Maybe my thing should have been, do people understand what that means really, to approach it as a business? Yeah.
No, I think loads of people don't. Like, they go in like you're going in on feelings, like I love this person, but also really, if you're thinking about in a business, you are going to think of the bad times as well in this. So when our cash flow is at nothing, is this person able to buffer me up or just even ride the storm with me? If you're not even thinking about it like that, like, you're probably not going to last, because as shit comes along, it's going to be easy to just fall out of sync with that person and bounce. And you could do that even if you have planned it all out as well. But I think you fare better if you go into a partnership, into a marriage, like I'm doing a partnership with somebody.
Kara's saying, Ronald said that finances need to be discussed prior to marriage, of course. Money is, of course, of a lot of divorces. But Kara's saying, no, finance is not the leading cause of divorce. It's unreasonable behavior and adultery. That stats prove this. I think, okay. And that's okay. Because then there is the whole, I'm going to get a rich man. I have heard this from the young'uns. He's rich. He's going to cheat on me anyway. So at least I've got money to buy my stuff and look after my kids. There's also that rhetoric. So the fuckery gets buffered over by money.
Yeah. Because money isn't everything either. That's the thing of the, ideas. Like, think of it just like a business. There are loads of rich people who are insanely upset with their whole lives because they have no ideas, no imagination. Like, so there's so many more things that you got to think about to make the partnership successful. It's not gonna just be money. There are lots of rich people and they're really unhappy in their marriages and they've got all the money in the world. Yeah.
You can't go with just feelings and vibes, because them feelings and vibes.
I agree.
Coco says, accept it, ladies. We're way ahead of most black men in the UK. I mean, sure, that part.
It's it's funny because our guest that we have on this week, Shani, and she's single and a brilliant woman. And like, when you're just thinking, I was really thinking for real, no, she can't swipe and find a guy. But how's she gonna find a dude that is gonna match her brilliance? That's a tall order. Maybe they're not in the UK.
But then everyone around the world is complaining. So where would you go? And I think there's when we have a little bit of a spat about finding men being, the singletons versus Nana. It's like there's a sadness that I feel that I can't just be in my country of birth, not my country, the country that I live in. For convenience, can I not just find a man? Why do I have to do all the intentions? I have to now change all my mindset. I have to positive thinking. I have to have my list. I have to go on speed dating. I have to make myself available. I have to sit in the bar of a hotel with a nice dress on every evening. I've got to then be open to traveling and get on the Eurostar to go to Paris, to Germany, to everywhere. That is the part that makes me sad. And it's like, yes, that we know. And then we have the stories like, well, this girl, she did this for a week. And then her man was there at the end of the week because she did all the things to make sure. And it's like, it's actually unfair, the level of things that we have to do. And then if you have any pushback, it's like, well, you're being negative. Well, that's why you're not got a man then. And I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm just saying that those are the things. Yeah. And then when you sit down in your little corner and you're like, it actually makes me sad, because it shouldn't be that I have to do all these things just to find a fucking man that I like. And on the next level, it's like a black man, because I could probably change my mindset and find another man from another culture. But I want a black man. But yeah, I must do all of the things and stick a pin in the fucking globe and say, let me go to spin the globe. That's it. I'm going to Mauritius tomorrow. I'm going to the fucking island. Mauritius. Find that man that I loved 20 years ago.
No, all that I have to say. I mean, I know, but there are success stories.
There are.
There are success stories. But it is like, and it was never quick for all of the ones where I am saying to you, like, look, this friend did this. Blah, blah, blah. No, they were out here for a while. It was never a fast thing, but their intention to be like, I'm going to settle down. It was very intentional. And they weren't doing any of the woo-woo things that I would tell people, like write shit on the woo-woo. walk on I want a man in your shoe and walk on it for it. And like, nobody followed anything that I told them to do, but they literally was like, that's my focus. And so they did all of the apps and all of the things.
I think
and widened their search. It was none of them, and Vanessa included. And you know Vanessa's story. Like, she opened her pool up to the world. Like, her husband was Nigerian. She lived in Nigeria for a minute as well. Like, she just was like, I'm gonna go looking. So I'm here in London, but my search on these apps wasn't London based. She was open to anybody in the world.
Sorry, one thing.
You did prove Coco's point, though.
I don't understand. What did I miss? What point did I prove?
No, because Coco was saying that there's not a lot of black men here.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't just... Okay, that part. Okay, yeah. Yes, everything you're saying, and it is about being intentional. I think that's for anybody. If you want something, you be focused on it. But I think it's also the level of when you're balancing so many things. And as a woman who has dreams and goals on the entrepreneur and the business side of things, it's like, it's a lot, because you do have to be able to find a way to balance it all. It's all of those things. But,
I mean, if there's any single guys in the chat.
Sorry, what?
I said, if there's any single guys in the chat.
KW says a glamorous form of prostitution. I mean, Aaliyah says, I think humans just make poor choices in general. If everyone wants to work on their character and just be a good or decent and genuine person, then there would be less problems in so many areas. Yes, Aaliyah, there that's a fact. All right.
For grown women only says the risk is not worth the reward.
Honestly, there's some of that too. Okay, I wanted to go.
I agree with you, though. I've always said this. I do think marriage favors men so much more, especially at this moment in time, than women even give it credit for, and is why it's still promoted. Really, it's for men's benefits. So that's why I'm still wondering, where are all the single men who should just be proposing? Where are they all?
Dating younger women.
They're in men's chat groups saying fuck women and women are low value and they don't value them.
They need to be submissive.
Wouldn't there be a whole load of younger guys also then looking for women? If their young counterparts are being wooed by the older ones, like
no,
but
they're dating younger too. They're dating younger too.
No, they are. My daughter said that there's a wave of younger men who are looking for older women, but then from for the younger boys' perspective, it's a conquest, not a longevity. Because also, this is why when we talk about dating younger, this is why at the stage where I'm at, I've had fun, and so we're done with that. Wanting to settle down with someone who's 25, 28, 35, who hasn't had kids especially, it's a scary thing to think, like, you're going to have your fun, and then you'll be like, oh, well, I'm now, my clock's ticking, my biological clock's ticking, I want some kids. And then you're left alone again. So that's the part where I don't know, and it might be patronizing, but it would take me a lot to trust that there's a young boy who hasn't had, I would rather, even if he's had kids, I don't know, a young person to be like, yeah, it's you. And for what? For the next, how many years I've got left on this earth? You're going to stay with me, yeah? As I'm decrepitly falling apart. Because I'm going to get wrinkles. My fanny's going to dry up. Things are going to go left. Just saying, in the worst case scenario, I think you've got to have a real patient young man that's going to go, because women, the stuff that happens. Jesus.
It's fetish.
Cher, don't try it. Don't try it. What's your thoughts on this? We're not going there.
Yeah, I think we need to get to the last segment. And the last segment has been, for the last few weeks, our man, well, not our man, maybe yours, Shaquille. Shaquille, right? I always forget his name because he's so nothing.
So nothing.
We need to go to Shaquille.
Little Kim, Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, and Foxy Brown on the cover of Vibe. I think the year is 1996.
Who's in the back? Left eye. Who's that there? Behind Foxy.
Let me open it out. Let me get it out.
Is that not left eye?
Can you not see? Oh, yes, on the other side. No, the other side is Master P, Busta Rhymes.
No, who's behind Foxy in the corner? What's that?
No one. It's like I said, it's a pullout. It's Master P.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, it's his shoulder. Okay.
Yeah. So this is a February 1996 copy of Vibe magazine in my collection of vibes.
Have any of you guys got a dilemma that you want us to?
There's
read
one
out
in
and
the
help
chat.
you?
There's one in up, but I feel surprisingly, I feel like it's one that we've done before. But it's in our Insta if you want to take it. Mrs. Evans.
My phone has died.
Yeah.
What am I doing now?
Go into our
which Vogue magazine?
Instagram.
Insta, we've got a
dilemma.
Okay, cool. Oh, we're not saving it for
more stuff, you know.
Okay.
We can do it now.
Okay. Oh, I feel like I'm cheating on my show. Okay. I've been dating a man 18 years older than me. He's 46 for 8 years. We're both men, and lately I feel like the spark is missing. He's not great at communication. Yeah, we've done this before. But shows love
today.
Oh, but shows love through spending, which I used to appreciate. As I've gotten older, though, my love language has shifted to words of affirmation. He covers most bills and gives me a peaceful life, while I cover essentials. But I find him a bit boring now. He's a workaholic who avoids discussing relationship issues unless I threaten to leave. Recently, we had an awkward dinner where he seemed to belittle me over something trivial, and the next day he bought me designer glasses instead of addressing the tension. I'm beginning to wonder if he's bored or even seeing someone else. Though I have no concrete reason to doubt his faithfulness, our routine of morning messages and updates has also changed. My question is this normal behavior for men his age? Do they shift to preferring peace over conversation? Is there still room for change, or is he losing interest in me?
How old was the guy?
Is it 28?
Wait, I've gone to the wrong page. He's 46 and he's 18 years older than me. So what's the maths? He's young.
So the older person is 46.
18 years older.
Our age range. Okay. And the younger one is 18.
Yeah, 28. I was right. 28.
So 28 and a 46-year-old. Okay. And they've been together 8 years. Wow. So from when it was 20 and 38. Loads of changes.
Yeah.
Go on.
This person did message us before. I feel like they didn't see when we spoke about it. But, you know, at that age gap, you're maybe both in different stages of your life and what you want. But I think if you have these feelings about where your partner's head is now, the main thing to do is to talk to him.
Yeah, you got to talk to him. You don't want to be in that feeling where you feel like you're being belittled and just being bought off when he's, you know, it's a little bit patronizing as well. So
yeah,
I don't like that.
What you may have wanted as a 20-year-old, getting bags or shoes or whatever the hell it might have been as a 20-year-old, great, innit? But as you get older, you might lean more into conversation.
Cara, have a little heart, love. No shit. You find a man 18 years older than you, boring. Shake my head. He wants to rest now.
He wants to rest.
I think that is a factor. It's like the older guy is I think there's a maturity level. So the older guy kind of hasn't really grown up to be 38 and even be like, I'm gonna be with a 20-year-old suggests that you have major maturity issues. And you're going to find it easier and more peaceful just doing frivolous things with a younger person. But he's 38, so he should know better. So the fact that there was an attraction there, you could probably be like, I am going to grow past this man as I grow older. And I feel like you've probably done that. So his way of communicating is, I'm not going to communicate. I'm just going to buy you something. It's like, there, little one, just play with that. And when I'm ready to play with you, I'm going to play with you. you're just maturing and being able to see more sides to him than you was when you were younger. So that's if you can't have a proper conversation, an adult conversation, an emotionally mature conversation with this person, it's never going to happen. He's now set in his ways. He's in his 40s. Like, he's set in his ways. He's going to do his thing. You can't threaten leaving. Doesn't work. You either need to just be like, I'm going to stick with this immature relationship I'm in, or I want better, and bounce. It doesn't, the person has to want to change, and you're going to have to be able to communicate. And if you can't, it doesn't work. I think it's just that simple. You may have outgrown this relationship. Just think of all of the good bits that you got and bounce and find your forever person. So I just think like spoiling somebody isn't the way forward. It doesn't even matter if there is somebody else there or whatever. This man may not be the one for you.
Everything that you said. You're on mute.
Hey, you're on mute.
I was saying the men, Mardi Gang saying men do, I guess, grow older a lot slower. Do they though? I don't know if that's true. Is that so?
Never. Men do. Say it again. Let me see.
Men do grow a lot more slower though. So I think he's meaning maybe grow older.
As in like maturity, but not when the person's in their 40s. Not in their 40s. I think it's more like, yeah, it may not. You just may not be there. No, the guy was 28 and got with a 20-year-old. Huh?
Stamara says, unfortunately, this is normal behavior for older Gen X men, and I say this as an older, near 50 Gen X woman. Gen X have low emotional intelligence, product of tough love, baby boomer parenting. Interesting.
That's interesting. Could be.
Okay, well, yeah.
No, I think love. I think you got the ages wrong.
Men's ears and nose hairs seem to grow real quick. Well,
I mean, I do get the maturity thing, but I think a guy in his 40s is probably not going to shapeshift into some enlightened being unless you're seeing them going on that trajectory, like they're really being they're thinking about you. And if there's a lack of thinking about you now, it probably isn't going to get better.
You don't need to stay there. And I don't know what it's like in that space when it comes to dating men. Is it harder? Is it less options? But in my mind, I'm going to say there's more options, isn't there? So
I don't know if there are.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I know it's a bit different. And especially if you date black, I don't know what that's like. But
yeah. I don't know if there are. Just
but I guess I think maturity-wise,
women
are more advanced than men.
Right.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
Sorry, what happened?
We're going to move on to.
I'm excited to see what our boys been up to.
Oh, look at this! You're getting into it.
I'm also looking at the time. I'm not doing 4 hours today. I want to be off in the next 15 minutes. Just enough time to chip in with one boy.
I'm trying to find him.
Okay.
Does anyone remember what his full name was?
Shaquille. Oh, I don't know.
For me.
Oh, maybe he might block you.
I was on mute. He's blocked you.
No.
I'm looking again because I cannot. Maybe I'm spelling it wrong.
What was he called?
He's blocked you.
Someone find the link.
He may have seen our stuff.
Yeah, because we'd be going for him.
If he's blocked.
Oh, hang on. No. He's here.
Okay.
Shaquille, I just spelled it wrong. Shaquille Romero.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think he's uploaded since we last.
Well, on one of his many different pods, not platforms. Sorry.
No. I lie. Okay, 1 second. Let me Let me share the link. Okay, guys, we're back. We're back with our old fave.
We should decide each week if he's news or nonsense.
I mean, is there anything we can extrapolate from what he says that makes it sensible? Anything?
Okay.
Cool. All righty.
Well, here we go.
Now, Ashes to Ashes, one of my favorite highlights of the show. I don't know whether to be insulted that whole Shaquille is one of your favorite.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's mine too.
Send me the link now.
Oh, but yeah, one of you may have to do it.
What is it? Shaquille?
Shaquille Romero.
Hold on 1 second. Let me find it.
I wonder if that's his real name.
No, never.
Could
Even
be.
sounds like a stage name. Nah, it's not his real name.
Followed by Santan. Oh. Called the. Oh.
Don't say who they're following. Who's following him? Because there's people that we know that are following him.
Cara says, I love this segment.
You guys, stop it. Stop it.
Oh, Badenoch's drinking out of his your aunties could never mug.
Oh,
Can you take a picture and tag us?
Exactly.
Yes, please. Take a picture.
All right, let's see what
Okay.
Uncle Shaquille's saying now. Let's
I
go.
was drinking a lot of J2Os. So I got mad drunk. I was mad waved. I regret it, but that night I was drinking
Pause.
a lot of J2Os.
You said J2Os.
So I got mad drunk.
One
I was
second.
mad waved.
He said J2O.
I regret it, but that night
J2Os.
J2O doesn't have alcohol.
J2O is alcohol free. It's juice.
What the hell is he talking about? And Misha Sharberry says, "Sir, please tell me what alcohol was put in the J2O." What?
I was drinking a lot of J2Os. So I got mad drunk. I was mad waved. I regret it, but that night I was drinking a lot of J2Os.
What?
So I got mad drunk.
Why is this a loop? Do you have any regrets in your life?
What else has he been talking about? Because
No,
I don't
hold on.
understand what does this mean.
I don't understand. No, I'm
What does
confused.
it say? What's the caption?
Nothing. Do you have any regrets in your life? I'm so annoyed.
They were drinking J2O.
His regret is having J2O.
What the hell? Cher says, just too orange. Sugar rush. What the hell?
He said he was mad waved. Do you think he knows that it's just juice? Like, now.
I don't know.
But how dare we say that? How dare I?
No, we did that last week. That was the only post then.
No, how long ago was this one?
This is,
I regret it, but that night.
and that was it. That's the last one 4 days ago. Because the last one,
No,
this
no,
one
no,
was.
no, we didn't do that one.
How
Why are you not going to the top?
Those are pinned ones that are already there. They've been pinned. The
Go back
fortress.
to that.
No, go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go back to that one.
Look, that one.
what? I'm a
That's
narcissist.
pinned. That's pinned. The next one isn't pinned.
Oh, okay.
You want to be a real bad man, then focus on your mission. Weak men focus on women. Women focus on strong men. And strong men focus on their mission. Focus on your mission, soldier. Join the trenches. You want to be a real bad man, then focus on your mission. Weak men focus on women. Women focus on strong men. And strong men focus on their mission. Focus on your mission, soldier. Join the trenches.
Okay, let's
Wait.
go for the trenches.
Do it
So
again.
he's got another crew.
It's
He's got
private.
another business.
Yeah, it's the trenches. I think it's from the
You
man.
want to be a real bad man, then focus on your mission. Weak men focus on women. Women focus on strong men. And strong men focus on their mission. Focus on your mission, soldier. Join the trenches.
Okay. What's the next one along?
You wanna be
That
a-
one also.
All right. You want to be a real bad man? Okay.
I'm a narcissist, a real narcissist. I don't want my woman getting excited or a high only because I've taken her out to a high-end restaurant. I want it to be about me. I want her to know with her, I want our love relationship all to be about me, not the material things, not the restaurants. And I'm all for going out to nice places. It's the same when you're excited about me taking you to that restaurant that is owned by this particular man. I want you to have that same kind of excitement when I've cooked for you, when I've made you a meal. Put that on your story, the same way you're posting Novi or Hacky. I'm a narcissist. It's got to be about me. What's it's got to be about me? What? Someone open up the door for you? You must be crazy. I must be the one that opens up the door for you. Another man put money in your pocket? Crazy. I want to be the man that puts money in your pocket. I'm a narcissist. If she wants to book a little massage, no problem. Can't be no other man rubbing your back though. It's got to be me. Why? Because I'm a narcissist. It's got to be my hands that are rubbing your back. Imagine your girl being asked, what's your most nastiest romantic fantasy? And she thinks, and she's thinking about some celebrity because of what she saw on a series. Nah, you got to be thinking about me. If she was ever asked that question, she better get a flashback and start blushing because she's just got a flashback from last night. I'm a narcissist. Stay away from me. My love is scary. I'm a narcissist.
He went,
a real narcissist.
My love is scary.
I don't want my woman.
1 second. Guys, for a minute. Can you say something, by the way? Narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people have unreasonably high sense of their own importance. They need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. People with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about the feelings of others. Guys, Shaquille is telling you who he is. This is not a flex. Problem.
It's actually scary.
This is not a flex.
Believe him.
Shaquille,
he said it more than once. He literally
said it about
saying,
15 times.
Yeah.
Let's count. Put it back on. Let's count how many times he says it. Come on.
Okay.
Getting excited or a high only because I've taken her out to a high-end restaurant. I want it to be about me. I want her to know with her, I want our love relationship all to be about me, not the material things, not the restaurants. And I'm all for going out to nice places. It's the same when you're excited about me taking you to that restaurant that is owned by this particular man. I want you to have that same kind of excitement when I've cooked for you, when I've made you a meal. Put that on your story, the same way you're posting Novi or Hacky. I'm a narcissist. It's got to be about me. What's it's got to be about me? What? Someone open up the door for you? You must be crazy. I must be the one that opens up the door for you. Another man put money in your pocket? Crazy. I want to be the man that puts money in your pocket. I'm a narcissist. If she wants to book a little massage, no problem. Can't be no other man rubbing your back though. It's got to be me. Why? Because I'm a narcissist. It's got to be my hands that are rubbing your back. Imagine your girl being asked, what's your most nastiest romantic fantasy? And she thinks, and she's thinking about some celebrity because of what she saw on a series. Nah, you got to be thinking about me. If she was ever asked that question, she better get a flashback and start blushing because she's just got a flashback from last night. I'm a narcissist. Stay away from me. My love is scary. I'm a narcissist. A real narcissist.
He says it 5 times. 5 times.
5 or 6 times.
5 times too many. I can't.
The thing is
go on.
Go on. I was going to say, usually he ends that sentence with, and I'm a virgin.
The thing is, I actually feel cringy because he even says I'm a narcissist.
He's saying narcissist.
I need to do what was people saying? Because I couldn't read it. What was the comments on that post? One of the
comments was saying that don't use the word narcissist in this way, and that it's scary how many times you say narcissist because it's not a good word to use and it has negative connotations.
Narcissist.
Please, it isn't just self-adoration and selfishness. It is highly abusive because it puts the interest of oneself above the interest or care of another person at any cost. This guy needs to research narcissistic abuse syndrome and quit using the word narcissist as a buzzword.
Yeah.
It's a wild take for him to, but I bet there's somebody in there being like, I just love listening to your voice.
Yes, someone says it. It's like one of the next comments. Someone said that's not narcissism, it's love.
But they're countering what he's saying. But this is not a flex. This is not a flex what he's doing. This is not a flex. You're not reclaiming the world. This is not like the M word. This is not like
right. I mean, it's almost that's what he's trying to do.
This has actual. And Coco, yes, definitely. The beard. I've been saying the beard's scary. The beard's a problem in itself. In itself, it should have like an enemy of progress on it. A warning.
I mean, I just would love to know who he's talking to. Who are you talking to?
Man, he's just looking in
the
mirror.
I know. You know what it is? He's in front of the mirror. He is in front of the mirror with the microphone that doesn't have a stand.
Like he said, and Ronald earlier on, waved means like drunk.
Yeah.
On a J2O, like the guy is so weird.
And J2O's like
to have him in the studio. I don't know if I need to see him in real life.
No, because we don't know classing him. There's no way, because the way he delivers, and so he's that guy that I really can't take. And look, Shaquille, you might be a lovely, lovely guy. You might not realize that you're offending a whole community of people. I'd love you to see your fight his magnet.
His magnetism.
I actually feel horrible. Like I don't. Something about this video, it actually I don't like. I don't know what it is, but it icks me. Like the real physical feeling of ick. I just had it watching him, and I've been laughing at him, but something about that video, I don't like. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like anybody messing about with psychological terms.
Yeah,
that have real diagnosis and people are insane from, like literally, like playing with it. And I would believe him if he's prepared to play with this term of I'm a narcissist. I'm believing you. You are, and women really should run from you for what you're doing anyway. Reeks of Derek Jackson. It's like this is a grift. And now you've decided now you're grifting women, and you're gonna move and you're gonna start grifting men now as well with the trenches. So you got the fortress and you got the trenches.
Yeah.
Because that part, how he's talking to the women, talking to the women, he's all like sexual, sensual, looking out away from the camera. He's all like lips close to the microphone, just saying all the things that he thinks women want to hear. And then when he's talking to the men, he's like, yeah, bruv, yeah.
Yeah, real bad.
He's like his whole demeanor change. Which person are we to believe you are? Like, who are you?
Do you have to? Men already go through war. They're fighting fires all day. Man's out there in the trenches. In the trenches of what? Relationships aren't the trenches. You don't need to. This is the problem. This kind of glorifying of it being rough out there, bad from bad, beat a pussy up and da. No. You need to stop looking at it like a war. It's not a war. The reason why we're all calling about the ghetto and the trenches, because you lot are treating us like war fucking goals and targets, bomb targets and shit. And Cara explained he does the same thing with Islam. Has he got a religious page as well?
Oh my goodness.
Has he been out here doing shit?
Yes, Cara, he uses manipulative engagement. He absolutely does.
Yeah, definitely. Like he
whatever's
knows
selling, whatever's going to get likes and comments.
It's just a grift. He's on a big grift. I mean, I wonder if one day he will stumble upon one of our lives.
He will. Much like other people we've had comments about have stumbled on us and then gone on live and had a whole rant. He'll be like a segment every week.
I think he is. Someone who tagged him. I saw someone that we know who tagged him and said, "Is he from Ends?" But they're asking, and they've tagged the people that they're tagging us from South.
Oh, Cara's got the skinny on him.
He used to be a Muslim. All his content was on converting and finding the perfect Muslim woman. I knew, and he's pivoting.
Oh, Bardi, you saw Miss Fabulous going in on us as well.
With the tea.
I mean, we spoke about her for 90 seconds. Anywho. That is exactly what I meant, Bardi. Thank you.
Oh, that's interesting.
So he's been out here on a grift then. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. He's literally just trying his luck with whatever's going to work.
Of all the guys, he's a hotep. Yeah, he reminds me of all the things. He's definitely a hotep. And just trying to find it, like, we'll see him pop up in another way with the dashiki and, as I like to say, incense burning, Jesus sandal wearing. That'll be the next.
What would you do if he said that if he contacted us and said he wants to come on the pod?
We'll put him on. I'd put him on because, like, what the hell? We need to understand what you're doing. Or do we?
Oh, Cara said that he's a more eloquent Castillo. I get it. I see it and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I hear the tones. But Castillo is much better than it. But yeah, I hear the tones. I hear it.
Yes, Ronald. He turned his pain into heart-melting music. Do you hear the music in the background?
Yes.
What is that? That's not music. That's music.
Yeah, music, elevator music. I'm not. He's upset me today. I've laughed before, but today I'm like, nah, I don't like it. You don't use the word narcissist like that. It's not good. And in the way you're doing that to the camera, I don't like that. There's something.
I would say it like it's a good thing.
It's something sinister. Something sinister about it. I don't like it.
I would have him on the show, but I would also be more like, so the way we have him closing News and Nonsense, if he ever got in touch, I'd be like, you can come on for the last 15 minutes and us and the chat are gonna gun you, basically. And you can you can try and use your wily ways on us online.
It's not gonna work with us. I'm literally like, Sade's in the room as well. Can you imagine with Sade in the room as well? It's finished. It's over. It's over. I think 4 of us.
I think it's like it would be like, yeah, please state your case. What's your point and what are you trying to achieve out here? And what's your relationship experience? Because what's your relationship experience? You're talking about you're a virgin. So how do you have all this knowledge? How can you teach men in the trenches and you ain't even fucked? You don't know what it's like to bust a nut.
Because I think that he's probably a born again virgin. There's no way you can't be talking about what you do to women and what you're going to do, and then the end of that sentence is, "But I'm a virgin." No. He's got to be a born again virgin. There's no way that he's a real virgin.
He's not a real, because a real bad man is a. You can't talk to a real bad man and you're a virgin.
You can't talk to a real bad man and he ain't bust no nuts.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. You literally, it's impossible. They will finish you in the trenches. You'll be that one.
But the fact that he even had 90-odd people who had signed up to Fortress is utterly ridiculous.
Like, what do you check the numbers? Are there's none?
Go and check the numbers. Let's see.
Check the numbers. What's he on? And even that, like, it's called the Fortress, and the other one's the Trenches. Even that,
he's got 100 followers.
He's got bare followers, but that could have been when he was in his Muslim days, though.
That's true, and they've just stayed.
Have this number gone up? Has this number gone up?
I didn't look. What was that? 6,000.
Guys, remember the number. If we come back to him, oh gosh, what's happening?
Helping women attract masculine men. Helping couples to have a spark.
No, if you click on the Fortress one, not this, but on the link, that takes us to his page where people pay.
96 members. He hasn't really gone up much.
So it's the same. So it's the same as last week. He hasn't added any more. He's on 96, and they're paying $35 a month in it.
He might have. Listen, how do you know that he hasn't fudged the numbers as well?
That's more than a Netflix subscription. $35 a month.
Shakil. Are these new posts on the Fortress page? No, they're not.
No.
Okay. Posting on the Fortress page.
There we go.
Wait, hold on. Oh, look, see, one of them ones, that story. We've had a lady inside of the Fortress who was struggling to find a partner. Since she joined and implemented my advice, step by step, I'm happy to hear she's now engaged.
Yeah, and it's his fiance.
Yeah.
And when was this news update?
This is 3 weeks ago. So he says, I want to send a huge congratulations to one of the Fortress ladies who's recently just got engaged. This is a blessing from the Most High, first and foremost. I've been doing my private one-to-ones with her for 7 weeks, and my step-by-step advice. And so, of course, as a narcissist, I'm very proud of myself. This was a lady who reached out, just wanted to truly know and understand what masculine men really want and need. So she asked if I offer one-to-ones with her. This was before I launched the Fortress Academy. I said no, as I'm busy, and I would always want to deliver the best of the best advice of service and help. I don't like half-stepping. Anyway, after her asking for the 3rd time, I went ahead, and to my surprise, I found so much joy in helping this wonderful girl and her journey on making things make sense in the confusing dating, relationship, marriage age we're all witnessing in real time. This is only the beginning for me and the Fortress, and this is a new beginning of any lady who sincerely wants to learn and be dedicated. I wish for all you ladies to win in every single way. Again, congratulations, Mahashala Aluma Badik. So you are still Muslim. Yeah.
I mean, is he married? Because what makes you the authority on anything? I don't understand.
This is what exactly I think he's writing his own reviews as well. Is he married?
100%.
Why are people giving this dude money? You know, I should start up a fortress.
Because at least with Derek Stupid Jackson, he was married. You know.
I mean,
Loosely. He was out here slinging dick as well.
And so's this man. I'm not even saying that Derek Jackson is great. I'm actually saying he's not. But I don't get why people go to him for marriage advice or to help get a partner.
Wild.
He's in the streets.
That's who I do want to speak to. I want to speak to a lady that is paying to be in the fortress.
Yeah, that's what we should put out there. I'm going to comment on there. Like, anyone who's been to the fortress,
don't comment on his page.
It should be that, you know, oh, please, I'd love to speak to a woman who's been for that, because I'm just so close to signing up. Got to find a way.
Shall I infiltrate?
Yeah.
Maybe I should infiltrate and like
use one of your moody accounts and just be on there and be like,
I got a moody one.
Oh, I got a moody account.
Let's infiltrate. And then we can I can sign up and get a hidden camera when I have these one-to-one sessions with him, and then just see what I want, and then like tell him to meet me somewhere, and then the places where we do the pod.
Cher said that we should bring him to our next live event.
Oh, right.
Listen, people will throw dash drink at him. He will get dash their chicken wing bones at them. So all right, guys. Okay. That has been news and nonsense. Don't try and make it a thing, guys. We can't. He's going to start telling us we owe him money.
Exactly.
We should search for others. Let's go find some others.
Please, I'll do it.
Let's find some others and see who else is out there terrorizing women.
Bring him to South London. Everyone said, "Nah, man, he'll get stamped down." I'll take him to Halsden. See how long he lasts.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm so tired. You guys are great. We're trying to get up to midnight again, but it's time to go.
Much for joining us for this episode of News and Nonsense. We'll be back next week. Have you bought your tickets to our live show? It's going to be a spooky affair. So make sure you
buy your tickets and buy your outfit at the same time. And we're going to have some little treats for you guys. So please, will you be naughty or nice? So trick or treat. That's what we're going to find out. Please come join the fun.
And I'll see. And do check out this book for such a time as this. It's a very good book. I'm halfway through it. Shani's on our main show. It's a really good book. I love it. Yes.
I'm just putting the link to the event in the chat. So carry on talking for a second.
What else can we talk about? What are you doing tomorrow? Well, I'm going to go shopping. I'm looking for makeup.
You're going to go shopping?
I got to find makeup, to be fair. That's what I got to do with my mama.
Oh, you going with mummy again? That's nice.
Oh, where are you going?
I don't know. I think I'll go to
are you going like
I think I'll go to Selfridges and just have a little play around in the foundations. You want to come?
To Westfield?
No, probably Selfridges.
Oh, Selfridges. I've not been Selfridges for eons.
I feel like I'm in there every week. Not really every other week, that's a lie. But I go there regularly for some reason.
No, I've got what have I got to do tomorrow? I've got to prepare myself for Sunday. I've got work on Sunday. I've got a big thing happening.
Oh yeah, you do. Yes, what are you guys doing in the chat? What's your Saturday looking like? Kara's going to come to the live as Shaquille Romero.
I'm a big
bring a mic with you.
Really hilarious.
You need to bring a mic with you. And not towards us. We need to look that way. Constantly.
You've got to speak to us like that. Yvonne says 9:15 a.m. at the park for my grandson's first outdoor football match.
Oh, yay! 9:15.
I mean, you're good at that. That's one of the reasons why I'm glad I didn't have a son, because that football run, god damn.
That is literally the times. Like Russell and Okaija have already left out. They're staying at Russell's mum's because he's got a game that way in East early in the morning.
Mate.
Yeah, it's long. It's
Do you
a
know
hard
what?
one.
It's not that bad, Cara. It's all right. You know where if you know where you're going, it's not so bad. What are the rest of you lot doing on Saturday? What are you doing tomorrow?
I may actually. I've been putting off doing my hair for like 5 weeks. I may do it this weekend.
Oh,
I'm gonna plait it. I think I'll do it.
Sister's going.
The Black Cultural Market.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
That's cool.
Oh, if
Oh,
I
no,
do, I may go past.
What I do need to do is go and return. I'm in the middle of a not an argument because me and my cousin don't argue, but we're having a discussion because he's coming to paint my house. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. But he's like, everything I'm getting, he's cussing me about it. So I've got to go and return some of the paint because it's not up to his standards.
Oh,
You gotta listen to the cuz though. He knows what he's talking about.
I mean, he's a professional, but he's annoying.
exactly.
Because he's taking back his talk as well. Because maybe about 6 months ago, he was telling me, you shouldn't paint this color, because I feel like everyone just has white skirting boards. Why don't you do something different? Blah, blah, blah. So I've gone and I've done something different. And he's like, that's dead. Boo. And I'm like, didn't you tell me to do this?
Cousin. KW's having a date night for her and hubby tomorrow. Joker at the Cinnamon and Cocktails.
Oh, amazing.
Oh,
I love that
lovely.
date night.
Whilst you're on your date night, can you
I didn't even know it was out.
Yeah, it came out today.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Ronald, sending love. I'm visiting a very sick friend tomorrow. Sending them lots of energy. I was out tomorrow.
To you and them.
Lots of energy. Share, not much, just playing. I'll fall off my enemies. What's wrong?
Share. I hear that. Watch the main show. I've got something to say about things like that.
Literally the house like this, Share.
I love that.
I too will join you, Share, as I'm plaiting my hair. I too will be thinking of the downfall of all my enemies.
Farrah said she's going to waste her life in the nail shop.
I'm going to do that next week. I've got to get one else done.
That was me last week.
That's just so not my life.
3 hours. I hate it there. The woman takes the piss out of she's running her nail shop like a hair salon. She starts you so that you stay there.
Yeah.
She moves on and comes back. She's a little trick.
Why do you keep going there?
I know. She also is like, I like it when I'm keeping this to myself.
Do you see? This is what happens, and this is what happens in the hair shops. You're going back and you're cussing, but you're going back. There are other places.
Bardi Gang's off this weekend, so he's going to dinner tomorrow, and then relaxing is much needed. But then you also said Bardi Gang, that means you missed the top of the show because he's going to watch this new show on Netflix about the two boys who was arrested in the 90s. Bardi, the Menendez brothers. We just had a whole section. You got to rewind and watch the show. We just talked about it. Let's just start. Yeah.
Also tomorrow I will be back on live with Sade. We will have Labrish at 1 p.m. No, 12. Labrish is going to be at 12 p.m. tomorrow, and we'll be going over Love Is Blind.
Hold on, is it out now?
Yeah,
the marathon. Shit, I'm gonna watch it.
It's good. It started off really well.
How many episodes is out?
Oh, is it 6? It's not like I was watching for ages.
That was a lot of growing up.
I know.
It's good, and there's bare black people in it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, it's juicy. It's a good one. It's a good season.
That's cool.
Okay,
just to digress ever so slightly, because you said about Love Is Blind, and it came back into my head. When I went to look at a school for my daughter yesterday, there was a pretty hot teacher. And I was like, hello, teacher, man. And he was like, hello, good, nice to have you here. And I was like, I bet it is, teacher, man.
Asking why Auntie Sade doesn't do this. I started to put it and I didn't mean to finish my point. She just, I don't know, because it's literally news and nonsense because I like a bit of news. And Then
But
there's like
also,
whoever.
we do different things, don't we? Like Sharks
Yeah,
does lavish every day,
Yeah,
practically. Not at the
yeah.
moment, but usually every day. And Nana is just about the life.
Yeah.
Nana's
So
the
News
one that's
isn't her thing.
across all formats.
yeah. So then I was just
She said it before because people were asking on Labrish. It's not her thing.
yeah.
Even when it came up, she was like, "I'm not doing that on a Friday."
Yeah. Exactly. And
And like I don't watch as much reality TV as they do.
Yeah.
It's their
So
thing.
me and Farrah are definitely unlike. Yeah, we can't do reality. We just don't like it. And then Nans is,
Nans is about the life of everything.
I'm a Gemini. I like the frivolous shit and I like the deep shit. What I now need is somebody to do a proper conspiracy theory show with.
I'll do that. I don't have time.
Out on
Now I
the
want to do
internet
something different. I don't know what I want to do. I'm waiting for my. Actually, I have got a spin-off in my head. I have got one, and it's called it's called Chatty as fuck, or it's actually called Chatty AF. Because the idea was, she won't mind me saying this. The idea was that I was going to do it with my niece to show that what a 24-year-old, which is
What
a 24-year-old thinks versus what a 47-year-old thinks. And it's called Chatty AF because her name's Amira and I'm Farrah and we're chatty as fuck.
Really good. You should do it. You should do it.
I like her.
I know I've been thinking things like the timings and stuff like that.
It's timing.
I said so maybe we should do it once a month.
You should. You should. I was going to say something.
Like them, put it out.
Conspiracy theory, because that's where the nonsense part of the news. I'd love to do that. Conspiracy theories, because I do love that as well. So that would be good. But you do need. It'd be good to get someone doing that. I think
Nana would be amazing at conspiracy theories. If you had like a 30-minute where you just went through conspiracy theories,
all of the ones that I see all the time.
Yes. I feel like you need to do that, you know, Nana.
Yeah.
And then the artists can make guest appearances every so often.
Yeah.
You bring a tinfoil hat person in each
Bring
week.
this to start it off.
You know who's good at it with you? Your sister.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That actually would be hilarious. But then she's going Ghana soon.
I mean, there's boxes like this.
Yes, that is true.
And Charlotte does have her blog. Yes, well,
she does indeed. She's very good at that.
And I'd love a year end. And yeah, we I think we tried to do that once, or we talked about doing it. An end of year enemies of progress tier list, definitely to round up all enemies.
Do that.
We're going to be doing a lot.
I feel like
we definitely will
places.
Yeah.
Yes, Ronald, we are doing a Halloween show. Our next show is in Halloween. Our live show is on Halloween.
On 31st, I have put the link in the chat, guys. Please get your tickets.
All right,
Ronald, get a ticket and get another ticket.
Get a ticket and fly over. Fly over to the. I'm tired. I'm fading.
I can't wait. I'm very excited for my costume.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh my god, I've been looking. I've been looking. I think I'm actually going to come as my fairy emoji. It's not mine. Well, it is mine, but the fairy emoji that I always use. So it is like green wings, a little red kind of tutu-y thing. Like, yeah, I think I'm going to come like that, and I'll be in a red wig.
Should.
Aaliyah, yes, we are going to do Big Brother. We are.
I'm going to do Big Brother too.
On. There's bare stuff coming on this.
You're not going to be busy.
Yeah.
You're not going to be busy.
Everything is kind of happening at once. So,
yeah.
Oh, please dress up, guys, if you're coming. Wear something so that you're like.
Please do.
Or at least like a little face painting or something.
It's a little thing. It's something.
It doesn't have to be full on. We might have a prize for the best dressed.
Yes.
Never know.
Yes.
No,
okay, you guys are making me think. I will definitely work on this conspiracy theory show.
I think so. I think you should start.
That would be brilliant.
I think you should start getting inspired by bringing one every week to News and Nonsense, and that goes in the nonsense part. I think you should start, and then you'll get used to it, and then you'll be like, okay, I'm going to do this now. That's your task. Bring a conspiracy theory to the show every week.
Okay.
That's not
Someone
good.
come as Kemi. You're ridiculous.
Nana, you should go as Kemi. You should go as Kemi.
As an absolute fairy. Cher is on one tonight.
What's she saying? What's she saying?
You should come as Kemi.
Oh, she said that. I didn't see.
Yeah. And Cher needs to come to the live as well.
Yes, we want to meet you. We want to meet all our gang.
Yvonne is for members. You're gonna have. We're doing a whole members area, so you guys are gonna have priority seating. First come, first serve. So if you get there on time,
member section
early, there's gonna be a whole member section, and you guys will have something special as well for being a member. So that's the special treat for you members.
It is.
That's the treat.
It is. It is. Fun times ahead.
Oh, look at that. Bardi Gang says, I will be dressing up, but not as Bardi Gang. Maybe I'll dress up as one of the aunties.
Oh my God. Ew. I'll be impressed if you dress up as all four of us. I would love to see all four of us. That'd be amazing.
Oh,
I
miss Kevin.
Oh, Kevin might. He came to the last one, so he might be.
Kevin was there. You know, Kevin was at the show. He may come again. May do.
Oh, she has to try. She's shy. Don't be shy.
Oh, don't be shy. We're so friendly. You'll make friends while you're there.
Yeah,
you will make friends. We may have things to make you make friends.
Girl said we really should all dress up as aunties.
Please! Oh my God! Do you know how insanely happy I will be?
No, that'd be weird. But also, be like, it'd be interesting. It would be interesting to see what attributes stand out to people about each auntie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would genuinely like to see. I think it would be flipping.
I think it would be fucking funny. There'd be someone there with blonde hair and a plaque that says "I swear a lot." If they care about me.
It would be so much jokes.
That would be fun. Can you imagine? That would be funny. Oh my gosh, I want someone to do it. I feel like some of you need to get together and chat and decide which aunties you're going to come as. Do it. Do it now.
I haven't been to London for ages. Come down.
Come on, come and see us. You can even get food there. They do good food there too, so you can get fed.
Yeah, the food's decent. Figure it out, Elia. We want to see you.
That's cheating, Yvonne.
Yeah, man. You go now. So yeah, do that. You could do that. It's very easy. Imagine you have to shave off your hair or wear a little scalp cap. Let's have short hair. Oh, that's the question. Should I shave my hair? Come growing in.
How?
No,
not skin.
At that stage, that this is where you.
I'm not at that stage. It's not. No, it will be longer when I get to that bit. I don't mind it, but just because of the event next week, I kind of want to have like a. I don't know. I'm just thinking, should I just go low just for that and then I'll break back again? I do like my low. The curls.
I actually prefer it. And I was firmly on a no before, but I always think once you cut your hair down, I'm like, oh, I see why she does it.
Yeah, I like it too.
But out that I go the other way, then I'm like, don't cut it again. Like grow your hair, but
I think that's where I'm at.
No, it's not. It's not at that stage yet. Like
it's gonna. She has to leave it for it to get to that.
Yeah, do it after the event. I say cut it down for your event. It looks sharp. Like you look. But it's like a vibe. It has a vibe to it, and then you need to get past that, and then it's long enough, then you can do what you want with it.
Yeah, I'm feeling like I'm going to do a cut for the event and then leave it for winter.
What's your event, AK?
I don't want to talk about it yet. Thanks.
Then stop talking about it.
No. Okay, Cher. No.
Do it now.
And I make it gold.
Oh,
do it.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, Ashes to Ashes.
Do it now.
Oh, Raven Cat Design's gonna do a Sade. She has a gap, and she can do a slick back with her hair. Yeah, one, you're quite tall actually. Really are.
Yeah, you are tall. But I'm, lots of people are tall. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, KW. Don't make me shy.
Oh, God.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And all righty.
All right, we're ready. All right. Yeah, I see what you guys do. You always try and get up to that.
I know they try to get us to 12. Look, it's 10 to 12.
I know, exactly. 10 to.
Every week.
And they're all in it. They're all in it. Before it used to just be Yvonne, but now I'm seeing everybody is at it.
Yeah, now Cher says she's ready for her bed. Look at her. Yvonne's like, it's nearly 10 minutes to midnight. Yeah, we see you lot.
I need those 10 minutes to decompress. I need to drink water. We got to get early.
We've got shit to do. We've got a meeting in the morning.
We've got a whole meeting in the morning as well.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not a competition, guys. Last time I started a big old yawn on camera. Don't do that. Don't get me. I'll start reading. I'll do my bedtime reading.
That's what you need to do as well. You need to do that.
Oh,
like reading some books and shit. You should do audio for people.
Oh, Bardy's saying, well, it's unfair. Everyone got midnight last week.
And I didn't. Well, how was the wedding? Okay, how was the wedding, Bardy? Bardy's like, from now on, the end time is midnight by force.
No.
You know we'll start at 10.
Exactly.
And I know, Ronald, we literally always fall for it as well. I have seen the Cavs family wedding.
They're just cute.
Oh my God, it was so beautiful.
Beautiful.
Cute AF.
And then not only was it beautiful, I like the Raven as well. They had all the MC.
Yeah.
That was good.
It was very, very good.
That guy. They had him there.
So
Wicked.
good. So cute. Just beautiful.
Absolutely stunning.
And their kids are just gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I know. It's lovely.
Very lovely.
Very, very lovely. I'm going to my bed now.
Yeah.
Yes. What's the time? Cha?
8 minutes to 12.
Bardi did say, just in response to my question, the wedding was so good. It reminded me that no matter the age, marriage will always be there. Keep in mind they were my age too. Glad I got a bit of the life before I went too. That's very cute. I'm glad they
I
had
do love a wedding. I love a wedding.
I do. Me too. There is something about a wedding. It's nice.
KW, why are you starting us off? Because you know that's going to start us off.
Oh, do you know what I thought he said? A massive dump.
No. A man came around the aisle doing a massive burp in Sainsbury's yesterday. It was so. Do you know what? I'm even angry at the thought. I'm angry at the thought.
I feel because the smell of it as well. Like when people do things like that, I think about the smell.
I cannot. I hate that.
You know
what is the worst? Oh my God. Oh Lord, around here. It's when people do the snot thing.
Yeah.
I hate it. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. I hate it with a passion.
It's too common to the point sometimes I'm like, I'm going to get my phone out and I'm going to do a collection of this to shame them.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Oh,
don't do that. Don't soil your phone with that.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry. You know what? My sister used to hate that I did because when I was younger, I used to do it. And sometimes I do sometimes I forget to put my hand over my mouth, but I catch myself. But yeah, I don't like it either when I see it. But sometimes
me and my daughter were out the other day and someone passed us, and then she said, "Mummy, when people pass you, do you hold your breath?"
Yeah.
And I was like, I do. And what was wow to me is that that's never something I've actually said to her. Because she was like, I hold my breath when people pass me. And I thought, I've never actually said it. But I appreciated that she does it. I was like, well done to you.
Or stepping onto a train standardly. And it is that. Sometimes you don't even realize that you're holding your breath. It's like, it's just normal. You're just not. You're not breathing.
I hate when you breathe at the wrong time. And it's like, oh, God damn, I've caught it. I hate when you breathe at the wrong time. And you just catch that thing, the whole of it in your neck and your throat and your nose. I hate it.
Taste it.
Oh my god.
It's when you taste it. Anyway,
Oh Lord.
anywho,
Guys, right, KW, you're smart. Do I get us into? You know that will get us angry and incensed.
I know.
Get us thinking.
Okay, guys, I am pressing end stream now. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching.
See you next week.
Bye now.